in this big game that we play, life. It's not what you hope for. It's not what you deserve. It's what you take. I'm Frank T.J. Mackey, a master of the muffin, and author of the Seduce and Destroy system, now available to you on audio and video cassette. Seduce and Destroy will teach you the techniques to have any hard-body blonde just dripping to wet your dock. Bottom line, language. The magical key to unlocking the female analytical mindset. Tap directly into her hopes, her wants, her fears, her desires, and her sweet little panties. Learn how to make that lady friend your sex-starved servant. I don't care how you look. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what your last bank statement says. Seduce and Destroy produces an instant, money-back, guaranteed, trance-like state that will get you this naughty sauce you want. Fast. Hey, how many more times do you need to hear the all too famous line of, I just don't feel that way about you?
Order now and get the entire Frank T.J. Mackey Seduce and Destroy system with Frank's personal magical key guarantee for the low price of $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-877-TAME-HER. That's 877-826-3437. Or check out our website at www.seduceanddestroy.com.
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
This is a favorite of mine.
Well, how about that?
Oh, nope, we're not. I'm not a DreamWorks production. I had to have that on there just for fun. Welcome to. I was going to say the Todd Sampler. That's not that. That's not that show. This is Todd Jaeger Experience. I am Todd Quality Jaeger. Over here we have
Captain Cartoon.
And below we've got welcome
Jon Devlin.
Yay! Okay, we got off to a good start this time. Yeah. Also, good news for everybody. Last week, I had this awful cyst on my face.
Oh, wow.
And now, after 3 months, it's gone. I look pretty
nice.
But that doesn't mean, hello, Ward Fowler. And so, even though the cyst is gone, that doesn't mean y'all can't enjoy the movie Cyst. Check it out. And
I still need to see that.
It's funny because we're, going to be getting into body parts soon in a moment.
Yeah.
But what I find funny is that this was at Walmart. And if you look at it, it's kind of a weird, almost gross, vaginal-esque cover. But if you see the actual poster art, it's further back, and you can see that this is an open shirt. And that it's someone's chest. But for some reason, the people at RLJE decided, no, let's make it look really questionable. And yet Walmart, which refuses to sell titles that have the word hell on them or Satan, they were fine with this. A figure. But anyway. Yeah, and also... I was not a huge Kiss fan. I think when the tail end of my junior high and when I was in high school, that's when Kiss was becoming popular. And of course, the news was this week that Ace Frehley passed away. So I thought I'd do a little shout out with here's my 45 of them. Shouting Wild Bears Kiss.
Nice.
Casablanca, which was basically a disco label.
Oh, okay.
They had Kiss on it, but here you go.
I mean, one of my favorite Kiss songs is the disco song. So,
well, I wish I had it. I wish I would have thought to grab it because usually, like 20 minutes before we go on, I think, oh, I should have grabbed this or that. But Kiss's first TV appearance was on the Paul Lynde Holiday Special. For those who don't know who Paul Lynde was, he was on Bewitched. He was the center square of Hollywood Squares forever. And he had a variety show one Halloween that had Florence Henderson and everything. And many people who shop at Walmart are covered head to toe in cysts. So that is true. Thank you, Ward.
That's why I avoid Walmart. I don't want to get squirted on.
Get cysts. No, I got to shop there. I'm broke. But no, the Paul Lynde Holiday Special, it is available on DVD. Pinky Tuscadero from Happy Days was in it. Florence Henderson, Margaret Hamilton, the original witch from Wizard of Oz, the witch that did Witchy Poo from Puff and Stuff. Donnie and Marie. Oh, there's Ace. That is Ace, right? Sometimes with the makeup, I can't tell.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our opening tributes and everything. And let's see here. Getting my stuff ready for this fun segment. So, Jon, besides you being, I want to say, famous for erecting a monster.
Semi-famous, probably, but I'll take famous. Fake it till you make it, right?
That one is still available on the website.
Yeah, and the link is over here, right there.
Yes, I made sure. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I made sure that was done. Yeah, go to that website because you can get Erecting a Monster, which is pure delight. And I want to say quality tastelessness, right? I mean, there is a difference between tastelessness and quality.
Yeah.
But it all is within context. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
And
if you're a fan of Trauma films, you'll love it. or Frank
And
Henenlotter.
Yeah, it's a something, and your clever use of prosthetics. So
I brought those back actually. The boob.
yeah.
Yeah, for toe tags. I have the boobs back for toe tags.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing too that I was still baffled by, because I didn't ask Dimmitiano because I figured he would have told me. But about a week ago, he asked me to record another intro narration, and he said,
nice.
read it like the one you did before." And I was like, "Okay." So I read it, and I have no idea what it was for. I was hoping it would. Well, I really hoped that I would have been a part of at least one of the two, Analogies or Toe Tags, because I was 2 bits in
Fallacies. Yeah.
But I know I can't be a part of everything, but I feel like a Dimmitiano regular.
Yeah.
And
I actually got to hear your narration for the re-release.
Yeah,
Fallacies.
Did it sound okay?
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Thank you. Because I know
you weren't in the original, I don't think. It was just
I was.
Were you?
Yeah, I was the voice of the person on the other side.
Yeah,
of the
but you didn't record the intro on the first one, did you?
No, they just had the intro there.
Just
for
the
you
letter
to read.
or the words.
Yeah.
So that this time you're reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I thought, boy, this sounds familiar when I was reading it, and then I realized, he just wants a voice. But that's cool, because I'm happy to have any part of me in one of the films. And so we'll see what happens with the others. And if you keep wondering why I keep doing this, as I showed last week, I have this CPAP thing I have to wear when I sleep. There we go. And sometimes it pushes my mustache hairs up and I get tickled. So that's, when you see me doing that, you'll know what it is.
You're not picking your nose and
I'm not
picking for
picking
boogers
my So Phallacies, that was the innocent edition, of which there were 50 copies, and I have number 1 of that one.
And this is no longer available.
Right.
You can't get this one anymore.
I didn't. I just decided to let other people have a chance of getting the sort of My Bloody Valentine version of the cover. But I did nab one of 10 limited copies. I'm gonna tell you of
we're gonna get canceled.
Nah. Friday the 13th edition, because it was released.
We're probably more likely to get canceled because of that Friday the 13th logo than the what's between.
I know. Yeah, but you know what? It's like what Severin did. Whenever they would put out something for was it Contamination, which was also known as Aliens?
Yeah,
and they
did Terminator 2, which was Shocking Dark, I think.
Yeah, that's the one. And they would, and I think Cruel Jaws, they also had a slipcover, and they said, "Get them before we get sued."
Yeah.
So,
but
that was fun.
Yeah, yeah. Cruel Jaws was the shit.
Oh yeah.
And Hulk Hogan was in it, right?
Right. Well, yeah, right. But I do have the paperback they did. I really wish I could order more regularly from Severin, because I would really kill to have that Exorcismo set. The long version of People Who Own the Dark and Bells from Hell. I would really love to have that set, but the on sale price is $150. And I'm kind of like, I wanted to order the new edition of Phallacies as well as Analogies. So I had
those are likely to disappear first. So
yeah, they are. And I think
I feel your pain though, because obviously I have the same problem as you.
Yeah. I really wish I could show you. Well, what I'll do is I'll take a photos of some of my shelves. I wish I could have them behind me like you do, but I'd have to turn my computer around, and I'm too lazy. So basically, also I might as well get this out of the way. Oh well, there's the whole thing now. We got
you can buy both for $65. You get a $5 discount if you buy both.
Yeah. Now is the ultra limited of analogies gone yet, or is there?
It's not gone. There's a handful left. That was limited to 20.
Yeah.
So it's over half gone now.
So folks, if you want the ultra limited of 20 copies, that one is not part of the bundle. I wanted to make sure.
It's a separate purchase. So a lot of people are going for the bundle, which is why, the limited 20 is still available. But the Phallacies Halloweeny edition is basically a re-release of the original Phallacies film. There's 2 added segments. There's like a wraparound segment that's been added in. And then there's a Halloween themed, which you see on the cover. So there's pumpkins. There's a guy in a mask.
I have seen videos of that kind of thing on Pornhub.
Yeah. So there's kind of a spoiler on this cover of what the film is.
And also for that cover of the 150 copy edition of Analogies, that smiling butt, that's actually Dimmitiano on the cover there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his anus.
Yeah, there he is, folks. See with a big smile on the butt. That's
the ultra limited is that nice poster in the back that's been censored with the god bending over with his cock and balls hanging. We have to censor that. Get flagged on social media for posting that.
I had this ready. The Blu-ray for Analogies. That could be anything because of the spindle hole there. But when you think about it, but what's funny? Yeah, it's a donut. It's Homer Simpson's donut set out a little too long. But otherwise, a lot of people don't realize this. But from the early 90s, I think this was let me get my flashlight ready here because I make sure I don't lose this. This is from actually 1991. The Thompson Twins, their CD called Queer from 1991. Great album, but I'm going to cover part of it on the back. This was in stores, okay? But on the back cover,
oh, damn.
And yet,
what could that
none of the reviews, this was before the internet, basically, and none of the reviews I read in the rock magazines or anything, nobody said anything about what was on the back cover.
They're just puckered.
Nobody. Yeah, it could be kissy lips.
Yeah. It's the same skin anyway,
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that, and I would show it to people, and at first they don't get it, but then it suddenly dawns on them, and they're like,
yeah.
And then and plus the album is called Queer. But Alana and Tom, amazing people. I just saw a documentary on them, and I just respect them even more after that. I will say right off the bat, probably my favorite Thompson Twins song is the 10-minute Turn the Knob mix of Come Inside. Boy, there's another entendre. And the song is from this album, but the 10-minute version on a single is amazing. So that's anyway. One more thing before we get more into Analogies. Lately, I don't know if you've seen this, John and Captain, but I've been seeing a lot about the Hardy Boys van on Facebook in my timeline.
I haven't.
Like, what's with the Hardy Boys all of a sudden?
Like the wrestlers or the crime novel guys?
Yeah. It was so weird because I just was curious. That's why I'm bringing it up too, is why am I seeing the Hardy Boys posed in front of their van and there was like a toy van of it. But it's funny because just over here, I happen to have the Hardy Boys Nancy Drew Mysteries set.
Oh.
And
I'm not thinking the wrestler. I was like,
I'm not going
on AEW.
How can you pass it up for $9, right? The whole thing. Plus, it's got a lot of extra stuff. But the one thing I find fun here is I won't tell you how old I was, but I thought this was a cool song when I was young. There's Sean Cassidy's Hey Deanie. And the funny thing about Sean is a lot of people don't realize he was behind those shows on TV, Invasion and American Gothic.
Oh, really?
He produced those.
I like American Gothic.
well, the bad thing about American Gothic was when they put it out on DVD, the episodes were not in order.
Oh, God.
So you have to go online and get correct order of DVD. And some people put out postings of how you can watch it, because you have to jump around to different discs.
Why the hell would they do that?
Well, it's like they did for the season 1 DVD set of the New Adventures of Old Christine. They're not in order.
Huh.
All these people, all that work, what do they call authoring and all that kind of stuff for discs, and there's those guys. But it just doesn't make any sense. But also another Sean Cassidy fun bit, in 1980, he put out an album called Wasp and it's on CD now. It was produced by Todd Rundgren and Utopia. Todd Rundgren, for those, he's famous for the song Hello, It's Me, and his group Utopia was a big thing in the 70s. But they cover songs like The Book I Read by Talking Heads, Rebel Rebel from David Bowie, Ian Hunter's Once Bitten, Twice Shy. He co-wrote 2 songs with Todd Rundgren on it, and his voice is like this when he sings. So it's weird being that it's Sean Cassidy, but gotta recommend it. I do recommend it. Rolling Stone gave it a very good rating, so check out Wasp from Sean Cassidy. Now back to the good stuff. So, Phallacies. What brought on that you guys thought, hey, let's expand it?
Well, it was pretty successful. We got a lot of attention, and it was. I felt like there was so much resistance to it, just as far as our limitations on promoting it.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
And we had more ideas. Like Dom and I would talk. I mean, the whole concept kind of just came up in conversation anyway, because I did Erecting a Monster, and he had done Red Crocodile and a few other films that had like a lot of like full frontal male nudity. So as we're like
El Dorado,
yeah. So we're like talking. This is pre-Phallacies, and we're just wanting to work with each other because we respect each other's work and stuff. And through those conversations, we came up with this, Dick anthology, basically. And how can we, put out a horror anthology with the focus on that part of the anatomy? And the same thing kind of followed into what we have now as analogies. Like, how can we push the envelope even further? Like, what's going to make people even more uncomfortable than that? And we found
I was like totally. I mean, I've seen anything and everything there is to see, and I was looking forward to it, and I was not really shocked per se. The only segment that, I mean, it was in a very way shocking and different and new. But the one that kind of made it difficult for me was, I forget the gentleman's name who was doing all those Pierce,
Oh, Jack.
Yeah. Wow. I wasn't ready for that one because it was like right off the bat. Like, was it the second one?
Yeah, because you had like a really you had Adam Ford's, I think, was first with the
which by the way, I think Adam Ford did Just a Child, right? And I feel bad because when it was available on Dark Side with a slipcover, I meant to buy it and I didn't, and you can't even find that on the slipcover on eBay. Nobody's giving that up. So, and plus, if you want to order it right now, boy, people want like over $30 for it, even just the standard. So that's the one that I have to get.
Yeah, and Adam Ford is actually doing a sequel to his segment for Analogies.
Wow.
Yeah, because you remember how it ended, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that relates to Analogies.
Well, because Daniel Arturi was the person at the end of that one.
Phone, yeah.
Wow,
I was the voice on the phone of his.
Well, it's funny though. I just think Daniel's great. I just think he's really great. I've seen him in a lot of Dimmitiano stuff, and I was honored to get to voice him in For Halloween. So,
I've got to order that one. It's on Amazon now.
Yeah,
for those that don't know,
I bought the was it Dark Side in. We're talking Dark Star, right? Out of England, that released it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got that one because I have an all region player. So I can,
they have like an American distributor now, I believe. So
yeah. And it's and I remember the way that segment ended, and I was like, now why didn't I expect that? You know, you think you're gonna predict where something's gonna go, and that one just kind of surprised me. But that'd be great if there's a sort of a continuation of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was a pretty cool idea. I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen one other segment from this film. There's fewer filmmakers. Phallacies had 11. This one only has 7. But you know, I think it's probably for the better. Like 11 filmmakers, it makes for a long runtime, and it's kind of an endurance test. You know, it almost went 2 hours on the Phallacies. So I think this is like a tighter runtime and probably easier to sit down and watch in one go. But it's not false advertising. As far as my segment and the segment that I've seen, the title tells you what you're going to see in this movie. The disc art tells you what you're going to see in this movie. This even pushed my own boundaries. Like I was pretty comfortable in Phallacies with what I was doing. You know, it's a little different when you're doing it in front of people, like, but I knew everybody I was working with and I was comfortable. But this one is like new territory for me. Like, you know, I'm kind of self-conscious about certain parts of my body, and because I don't see them that often. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, for me, the only thing I hate about myself is, you know, because I got skinny arms and skinny legs, and then I got this gut that I cannot get rid of. I was told by my doctor, well, you'd be able to reduce it, you know, cut carbs and stuff, which I've tried to do. It's impossible. So I've got this gut. So I don't mind being naked or anything in movies. It's fun. But at the same time, I just don't like my tummy. So that's the only part about me that I don't care for.
You said, screw you, I'm going to keep eating cheesecake, right?
Which, by the way, thank you, Ward. Wish I had Hardy Boys hair. I have to do my signature cheesecake, man. Cheesecake. I don't have cherries today.
Oh, no.
I ran out. So Punching the Clown, you separately had that in one festival or were there more?
I was talking to the people that run Buried Alive Film Festival. I was in 5 films last year.
Wow.
So they do a cinema challenge, which is like a 13-day thing. You draw cards from Cards Against Humanity to kind of get random content that you have to write a script about and then make a film, edit it, and release it in 13 days for this festival. So I acted in 3 films within a 13-day time period. So I was in 3 films that were in that part of the festival, and then Erecting a Monster 2 and Erecting Monster 3 were in the WTF block of the late night.
That's true.
And I participated in the cinema challenge this year. I only got to be in 2 this year of the films in the competition.
I love that shot.
Oh yeah, it's great. But they asked, they were like, "Oh, you got any other films you want to submit?" And I was like, the only thing I really got, I don't know if you can play, which is Punching the Clown. I was like, are they actually going to play this in the Plaza Theater? But I was like, screw it. If they reject it, it's going to a festival that I like. The money's going to a good place, and I like to support Buried Alive. So, no hard feelings if they rejected me. I kind of just assumed I was getting rejected anyway. I was just like, I'll throw it at them. Maybe somebody that watches it will like it, even if they don't pick it. But
there it was.
Surprisingly, I was accepted. And then a couple days later, I was accepted to Horror Haven Film Festival for the.
Wow. Well, the funny thing is, people who are not ready for this kind of thing or have not been exposed to this kind of content would probably go, what was the point? What was it for? But I got it when I saw it right away. And it's funny too, because even Bill Whedon, when he was on the last time you were on, and I think he really, really loved Dimmitiano's segment. He found it very beautiful and artistic. But he said yours, I remember on the show, he said that yours was, he just thought it was
crap out of him, he said.
Well, it did, but he said it was fascinating. It was fascinating. And and it wasn't, and plus with the way it ended, it kind of paid off.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of the story was, about toxic men and kind of like incel culture and how women are treated online and stuff like that. It's kind of what's integrated into the story in its own weird way.
And it wasn't. I don't think any of the segments in Fallacies were meant to be erotic in the way of turning you on. It was. They're all kind of disturbing in different ways.
They all have like their own little thing to say. There's a lot of frustration and self-consciousness, and like mine is like criticism of some masculinity or some aspects of masculinity. You know, I wouldn't say like all men are like this, but you know, I hear these stories from women all the time about how they're treated. And so that's kind of how I modeled this story.
And she was brave. Yeah, definitely very brave.
And Angelica, I've worked with her so many times, and she's coming back for Analogies. She's an actress I trusted to do the scenes I'm doing. I'm doing things I've never done in real life, and I'm like, I trust you to do this to me. So we have like a camaraderie. We've worked enough, and we're really good friends, and we have a trust in like a bond in a performance level that's hard to come by. You know, I can't do a lot of this stuff with anybody else on camera.
Because I've seen some of these, I don't know if you want to call it underground, but I've seen some shorts and films that were just, I could barely sit through them because they were just so poorly done.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, look at me, I'm naked in this. And I just kind of like, but thankfully everything in Fallacies had, I want to say had context.
Yeah. Style and substance.
It made you think a bit. Like I said, the only one I had issues with was the second one he said, Jack, only because I can't deal with watching self-mutilation and like when you're sticking needles and stuff in it.
Unsimulated too. Like Jack's actually sticking himself. So
oh my God. Because for instance, today on the show later, we're going to be talking about the 2019 horror film Haunt. And there's like a couple scenes where people step on a nail or something. And you know, in those movies, they're obviously, you know, it's all fake and everything, but still just that thought, you know, but what that guy was doing in Fallacies was for real.
Yeah.
And that had me just like, oh my God, you know, but you know, it's all good that it's all there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a variety pack. You know, there's something for everybody. You might not like every segment. Anthologies are always like that. Everybody has their favorites and least favorites in every anthology, you know.
There's you and there's Dimmitiano again.
Yep, the Psycho cover.
Yeah, he's I would say he's used to doing stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think I'm trying to remember what the first film of his that I saw. God, I don't know.
Red Crocodile was the first one I saw.
I think that was I
bought it from Unearthed when it came out from Unearthed, and I had no idea who Dimmitiano was.
And Expiation, I remember. And that was I think it was Poison Rouge, but you know, Dimmitiano's all over everything.
Yeah, and they both kind of collaborated on the guinea pig sacrifice.
Yeah, what had this and the prequel, What Have You Done, Daniel? Which I am so, I mean, my bit in there is so small. We're not talking about Fallacies at the moment. It's so small. No, but I was so honored because the fact that he asked me to be the voice of Frank LaLoggia just blew my mind, which by the way, Frank LaLoggia is the main star of Nightmare Symphony. Dimmitiano's sort of remake of Cat in the Brain. I do not like Lucio Fulci's Cat in the Brain. I cannot stand that movie. It's just
I can understand why.
Well, it's like when TV shows in the 70s would have a clip show.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just clips from
the best of Fulci.
Yeah, it's clips from his other movies, and then now let's stick in a naked woman again. And it was just that over and over, and I thought it was awful. But what Dimmitiano did was really fascinating. It had an actual story, and Frank was great in it. And I was so honored to be asked to be the voice of Frank Lalaggia. I still can't get over that. But that one also had Lynn Lowry, who I adore. And
yeah, she lives around here too, actually.
Yeah, I tell people too that I was in 2 movies that she's in. The other one, Essence, is not out yet, but the director, Jeff Kakmarinsky, has been posting that he is finishing it up. And after he started working on it in 2019. So
did you see the Shivers photo op she's doing?
Yeah.
In the pool and like kissing the fans.
So you get to kiss Lynn Lowry in a pool.
I've never seen.
I wonder how much that was, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I would love to have done it.
I feel bad for her.
I wouldn't mind kissing
who she's having to kiss.
Lynn Lowry, and for that fantastic photo. But it's like when you go to conventions too, and I'm sure it's the money raised and everything is all for good cause and everything, even if it's for her, because she's worth it. But I probably could not afford that photo op.
Yeah, it's a cool gimmick though. Like
it is
for hardcore fans, like that's a pretty awesome photo op.
I guess though you have to make sure you use Listerine or something.
Yeah, brush your teeth really good. Make sure you actually have teeth.
Yeah, because if you're gonna be, up to par.
Yeah.
But anyways, the other thing is, I'll throw this in before I forget because it's right here. Besides the fact that For Halloween, which I left on the other shelf, was just released through Darkside, but in North America right now, Darkside is unable to ship to the US, I think still. So, you, Mr. You Know Who. So, what you can do is get these Darkside titles through Amazon. Movie Zing ships pretty fast. And I think besides it listed eBay, but also I think Best Buy. If they sell movies online, they just don't have them in stores, which is bullshit. But the other one besides For Halloween was Dimmitiano's documentary Idiocracy, as well as, which I still don't know if I had anything to do with. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen that yet.
He asked me to do some checking English-wise on this whole thing that I thought he said was going to be subtitles, and it was kind of hard to do because there were words that in English they will say in Italy in Italian, but here in the US it's not what it meant on paper, and I thought it was something else. I was going back and forth with Dom on that one, and I don't know if that had something to do with this. Because if there's, I haven't checked. I don't think there's subtitles on this anyway. Or like if people are speaking in Italian, and it's supposed to be a translation. If that was my responsibility, I'm scared because I haven't checked it out yet. I don't know if it was for this or not. But so don't.
That's funny though, because I get the same messages. They'll just say, "Hey, I need a voiceover for this." So I've got like 2 voiceovers in the re-release of Phallacies.
Oh,
but I didn't really, sometimes you don't really know what you're doing. Like in the first Phallacies, he's like, "Hey, I need you to read this dialogue." I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "Sound panicked and everything." And then I watch Phallacies, and I'm a talking ass. But I didn't even realize it was me till the credits rolled. I was like, "Wait, was I in that?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's the thing he asked me for like months ago."
Well,
I didn't even know what it was for.
That's why I think my name was not in the credits at first, because he asked me to do my voice when you guys had already basically finished the movie. And they had finished
like
everything.
A last minute,
get the voice in.
And he'd already probably ran the credits and everything.
Yeah, he did. But apparently, he told me he changed all of that for this release, which I'm grateful. Thank you.
I'll go back and check. I'll check to make sure, because I have a link for it.
Well, I got the listing on IMDb and TMDB for the old man voice, but it's just kind of nice seeing your name on the actual.
Yeah, I think I still need to add you. I can't. You'll remind me, I'm sure.
At first, he didn't say it was for Phallacies. Again, he didn't tell me what it was for. He just said, "I need you to do a cackling laugh. Make it last 20 seconds. Like the old lady in The Shining." That was all I was told. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do, for Dom, I will do anything.
Yeah.
I remember, he said he stopped making movies, but let's face it, he's always going to have ideas and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, if he had a lot of money, and now he's got his performance art studio and everything.
Dude is so busy. It's crazy.
Yeah, if he would have continued making his crazed naked serial killers wandering around empty mansions, he said he would have liked to have had me do one. And I would have been all for it. And I would have gladly done it. And I said, well, you've only been to the US once in Los Angeles and once in New York. And I said, I'm near Los Angeles, about 2 hours out. But he goes, well, if I have to, I'll get you. Well, you know how I love his voice. That's why I love video chatting with him. Just hearing his voice, I'm like, so, but he said, well, if I have to, bring you over here to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'll do anything. But, I'm just happy to be a part of the stuff. So even when Phallacies, when it was just that cackling laugh, I was just like, ooh, that's me, and I was just really thrilled to be a part of it. So now having to record the intro narration for it too. I've done the intro narration to 3 of his movies.
Yeah, you did the documentary too, right?
I did the documentary. I did the director's cut of Bloody Sin. I did Flamentog, and now Phallacies. So that's 4?
Yeah.
But that's so cool. I'm just so excited.
Racking up those IMDb credits there.
I listen to my voice. Now, here on the show, if I go back and look for certain segments of the show and I hear my voice, I think, oh my God, I sound like this. But, and it's when I was on KDHX in St. Louis, of course, for some reason, when you have a radio studio mic in front of you, you suddenly become an FM DJ. But, this is kind of my normal voice right now. But I wanted to make sure, oh God, I want to do this right for him. And I listened to my voice on the finished product and I think, oh God, I know they could have gotten better announcers or something, but he always trusts what I do. He says, oh, perfect.
Yeah, I thought you were great.
Oh, blush. Thanks.
Yeah.
What is it? That awful Larry Cohen movie with Betty Davis, the wicked stepmother, when she goes, do go on. I just love compliments. But that's worth having just for that long. Thank you. I don't do a good Betty Davis, but the other one that came out, I don't know why it was this month instead of with Idiocracy and for Halloween, but Darkside finally released Unburied Tales.
Okay.
And I did 2 different, and I was shocked. I was so happy to see in the credits, I got credited for the 2 segments, the 2 different things I did. And I recorded this 3 years ago. Yeah. And I always saw the image of this, but I thought, when is it coming out? And finally it did. And this is Dimmitiano's homage to Umberto Lenzi's Ghost House. And
nice.
This is I was going to say too, it heavily sexual content in it, which is fine with me. I just was thinking it was going to be almost like an Amicus, thing. And but I was pleasantly surprised at the way it went. And so, yes, I am the voice of a narrator in the first segment. At first it was called the homeless narrator, but how would you know he was homeless? I don't know. But I am the narrator in the first segment, and then I am in the later segment that was called Ochun, and then the later segment Loop. My voice is of the doctor in it. And I listen to that and I go, do I really sound okay? I guess I'm one of those actors that say, when I see myself on the screen, I'm like, oh God, is that,
yeah, I'm like that too.
But I'm proud of it. So everyone, Unburied Tales for Halloween, Idiocracy, you can get those through, like I said, Moviezing, Amazon, Best Buy. I'm sure they're on eBay. This one's fun. It's a different kind of anthology. I was really surprised.
I need to watch that one because I'm a big fan of Ghost House, which was also called La Casa.
Yeah,
right. And it
Yeah.
branched
Well,
off
if you
to the La Casa series, David Hasselhoff and Linda Blair end up in it. And
oh, we got a trailer here, folks. Let's see what it is.
oh, for Halloween.
I don't. Yeah, I think it might be. Yep. I'll point out who I voice.
This Halloween night, not only the dead will come back.
I voiced Danielle, or Daniel. I don't know how he pronounces it. I loved her. Ah, I voiced him.
Yummy.
Serial killers, zombies,
That's cheesy.
aliens, and much more.
Whose voice was that, I wonder? Clowns, everybody. Great music.
Appropriate film for the season.
Yeah, you know what's funny too is if folks, when you look that one up on YouTube, that trailer, type for Halloween and then put Dimmitiano if you can, because when you type that in, the general search wants to go for Halloween 4.
Yeah.
And it's and if you type, like for instance, I tell people when they look for the trailer for El Dorado, type in El Dorado teaser and possibly Dimmitiano, because otherwise you get the animated film El Dorado.
Not what you're looking for.
No, here's something else we got coming up. Oh.
Uh-oh. This is the censored trailer, I hope.
Yeah. Let's see.
I got top bill. What's going on here?
Wow. There we go. Ah, yes.
There is an uncensored version of this trailer with different footage.
And where can we see that one?
You can find it on my X account, which is Devlin's domain, because X doesn't, censor the videos.
See, I don't know if I could access that. Do you have like?
You might not be able to because of. You might have to account for restricted content. maybe.
I don't have an account at all with X.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
do X.
You can watch some stuff without an account, but I think if it's a restricted video.
Well,
might
if you ever
one.
have a private link or something,
I'll send it to you.
I would love to see the uncensored trailer.
Yeah,
I really
I'll send
would.
it to you. And actually, I think it's if you go to fallaciesthemovie.com and go through the back door. When you go to the website, there's the front door and the back
Message me
door.
on how I go through the back door. Pun intended.
It's totally obvious. It's totally obvious when you
it is?
to the website where the back door is. So go through the back door, and if you want to see the trailer and you don't want to go to X, you can find it on fallaciesthemovie.com in the back door.
I was I really enjoyed when I think it was when you were on last time when Brock Bones was on as well. Was he on the same show you were on?
Well, maybe.
Oh,
after
he
left.
he was on, or was he on the show with White Gardenia? Yeah,
we weren't on together at the same time either.
Right.
Way.
I really loved what he did in his segment.
Yeah, he did the kind of like the Jean Rollin, Just
Yeah.
Franco kind of tribute.
And it was weird too, because then you got the whole thing backwards really fast. But no, he was really cool, and I was wondering what kind of person he was like. So having him on the show, it was really cool to get to meet him.
I've talked to him a few times in DM.
Yeah.
I've never met him in person, but the interactions I had with him, in private message are, always good.
I wish, that everybody was. It's funny because people would think like, well, Todd, you're near Los Angeles and all this, you must be around a lot of these people. No, everybody's so spread out, and it's. I would love to like be a part of other things. And like I said, if Taylor Swift was my friend and she would give me like $10,000 for my birthday, I'd be able to travel and do these things more. But maybe one day. But the other thing I noticed too, even with the trailer for both Fallacies and even Analogies, and for some people that have said it wrong, it is not analogies. Although I like to, when I type the name for the movie, I put ANAL in capital letters, then OG.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Just so you know.
Yeah, so you know
what the innuendo is.
Otherwise
spell it out for some people.
Some people don't get it right away.
Yeah.
But and again, it's not saying because it's got to be men, but I find it interesting that for these movies too, it is more the male form. And because let's face it, no matter what the content, exploitation or even stuff that's valid, it's always the women who have been shown off, and they look at their body and stuff. And I think it's about time the men got their share.
Yeah.
And that's not to be, big deal guy. I'm just saying, if you're going to use the word exploitation, let's exploit the men some more, man.
And it's very personal too, because it's not just any actors that are doing this. It's the directors are acting in their own films, exposing themselves.
Yeah,
so it's even more personal than
Corey Ann's segment. I didn't realize who that was in hers until I became friends with her. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. But it's just that, like I said, I have this thing about, women being exploited over the years, and it's about time men were kind of exploited as well, because it also makes, I'll just use the term straight man, kind of have to confront, when they watch it, because they will say nothing about, when I brought it up before about like the locker room scene in Carrie or Porky's or Private School for Girls, and the initiation, that where it's just oogling at the women on the screen.
Yeah.
And then when there's naked guys on the screen, like in Frank LaLoggia's Fear No Evil, which is a classic, even though it's cut, they get all like, why did they do that? That was unnecessary.
I didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't stare at it every time you take a piss,
Yeah. I think I shared this story before here that there used to be movie night at when I used to work for Borders, the bookstore. One of my managers, and he would say, let's do a movie night on Wednesday nights at his place. And he had a roommate, and his roommate invited idiots. He just put it up on MySpace, and people were showing up that weren't intending to watch a movie. They just were hoping for drinks and drugs. And but whenever we were watching a movie and two guys so much as put a hand on each other's shoulder or hugged, he would verbally, you know. And at one point during a movie, I had it with him, and I just said, would you shut the fuck up? We get it. You want us to know that you're straight. You know, you desperately want us to know that. But the more you protest, the more that you make noises and stuff, it just shows what a bigger closet case you are.
Yeah.
Because if you're secure, you don't worry about that kind of thing. And nobody, and I told him, I said, nobody is sitting here wondering if you're getting off on it. Nobody cares. But, you know, it's that kind of thing. And that's why I love these movies, especially like El Dorado. Of course, I wanted people to see El Dorado because my voice is through that whole movie. And I'm like, I just, you know, get excited when I see that, what's his name? The guy who produces a lot of these, Viteri, his last name? It's he was the main star of El Dorado. He was in
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, he you know, whenever he would move his lips, and that's my voice, I was just kind of giddy. But no, it's just El Dorado was wall to wall full frontal male nudity. And plus Dimmitiano, instead of looking, well, except for even in Jack the Saint Ripper, he likes to use men that have more of I want to say more masculine hirsute, almost kind of look with the beards and everything. So he's not going for the Twinkie Ken dolls in his movies. And I think that's pretty cool. So exploit the men, you know, show other kind of men instead of what you get in all the, you know, Hollywood, everybody thinking that it's got to be cutesy boys.
Yeah.
So I really like what you guys do, because you just kind of, it's something different. I know that sounds typical thing to say, but it is. It's just very different and very progressive, because I don't think anybody has done anything like what's going on with Phallacies and Analogies, and even
that's what I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah.
Because usually those body parts are used for humor. Like I mean, even in my film, Erecting a Monster, it's used for humor to some degree. But
and like in Trauma, for instance, the male nudity is usually for humor, whereas the female nudity is more to gawk at.
Yeah, because they'll do frontal male nudity, like in the Terra Firma, they had the guy that runs naked.
Yeah, running around.
But it's hilarious, and it's, you know, it's supposed to be laughed at, not serious.
But I also kind of find it sad that in a lot of movies, especially if they want to present a large phallus or one that's erect, it's got to be a prosthetic.
Yeah.
Because even in, what was it, Nosferatu?
Yeah, it's prosthetic.
It was a prosthetic. And I'm just like, well, that's stupid. Or, you know, the funny thing is did you see the Scarlett Johansson sci-fi one, Under the Skin?
Under the Skin?
Yeah. According to the director, those two scenes where the men were erect, following her in the room, they were erect. He says that was for real. And I thought that was interesting, considering it had an R rating.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not saying, oh no, it shouldn't. You shouldn't. I'm just saying I was like, wow.
Yeah, usually that's taboo, and that's the NC-17 right off the bat.
Yeah, NC-17 is what I expect. It's funny too that, digressing a little, that theaters will not show NC-17s, because I remember the one I work at when they had Almodovar's Bad Education or something like that, they had to have an employee posted outside the auditorium door for the whole movie.
Wow.
So to make sure kids under 17 were not slipping in there. And so theaters don't want to do that. But no problem. Movies like Terrifier and all that, let's just release them unrated. And theaters have done a deal.
Yeah.
And we treated Terrifier 3, and we'll treat the next one as an R, even though it's unrated.
Yeah.
So when people say, well, it's not rated, well, sorry, our policy is we're treating it as an R. We can, it's our rules. So yeah, there aren't. I'm sorry, I'm more Papa Corn, you know, Circus of the Dead. That's more my style.
I'm partial to punches myself.
Yeah, punch. Yeah, I mean, but as far as a feature length,
yeah.
But thank you. Goodbye, Art. So, but no, I just think it's great that, especially now that movies don't really have to be rated, especially if they're on Blu-ray or streaming or something, that we're able to kind of cover different ground, just do these different things. And again, these are not really to titillate.
Yeah.
A factor of it may be to shock a little bit, but I think it'd be more shocking for people who've never been exposed to something like that. Like I said, I've seen everything, so nothing, especially after The Greasy Strangler. You know?
Yeah, and this is the good thing about indie film is we're not under pressure from studios. Like we're not handcuffed. We can do anything we want to do within the law to make
well, yeah,
film.
yeah. That's a very key point there within the law.
Yeah,
but it's just fun. And I'm hoping though that other people don't try to then do what you guys are doing and then just try to, like I said, because a lot of people who do some of these things tend to just have no real substance.
Yeah,
they're just doing it
and trying to piggyback on something that's successful, and then they run.
They're just trying to shock and look at what we did, and we got it out there.
Yeah,
I mean, it was Politana's The Benefactress.
Mm.
When I first watched it, I was like, and then I gave it another chance and started reading up and listening to what he had to say. And then he was on the show. And I kind of like, okay, I got what he was trying to do. It's just that I had not seen something like that before.
Mm.
And I just was like, okay, there's art here, and I guess it was a challenge too, for you to sort of get it. And I finally did. So, but a lot of filmmakers out there, I think, are especially, they got their phone and they just, get their, like girls that are willing to, get naked and all that. And it's so we appreciate
there's an audience for that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but
no, it's fine, but it's not me.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to come by films that actually have substance though, or, good storytelling, or, a lot of times they cover up with the nudity what they're lacking everywhere else.
Well, it's sad too that, I mean, I can understand that on things like Tubi and that, it's funny, they will show everything except, I'm not sure I've seen full frontal female in anything on Tubi, but for the men, they do have it censored. And
I saw one erect penis on a Tubi feature.
Oh, they must have missed
very
that.
briefly. So I had a friend, he's a movie reviewer, but he's like reviews all these, I guess I don't guess they're blaxploitation, but for the modern black audience, the films that are on Tubi, he watches all those, and he just messaged me. He's like, I just saw an erect penis on this Tubi film, and he sent me the link, and I watched it. It was like a bachelorette party scene, and then they had a male stripper to come in for a split second. You see it.
Wow, because I know, like for Special Needs Revolt, they put a smiley face over Bill Whedon, and I know that. Yeah,
so I won't watch that on Tubi. Then I gotta buy that on disc.
I don't have it on disc yet.
Yeah, you want to see Bill naked all the way.
Which I already have. What's the movie? The football movie. Once and Future Smash.
Once and Future Smash.
Yeah, that one is censored as well on Tubi.
Yeah, but I've got the Blu-ray. I was in the Indiegogo.
I got the slipcover thing, and they've even got the little pin. So I'm proud of that. But no, it's not like we're saying let's show dicks everywhere. As long as it's and some for quick shock value, and that will work if there's a quick point of like, well, suddenly boom, and you're shocked. or some humor. I can understand that. I just think it's kind of sad that in many cases it's fake ones now. And it's like even in the Toxic Avenger, the new Toxic Avenger, when at the outdoor concert scene, when they show the guy winging it around, like, if you've ever seen puppetry of the penis.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did in Punch
the
the Clown,
helicopter.
actually.
And that guy was doing the helicopter with that was obviously fake.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, because the woman's tits were real, but no, we got to have a fake dick, which I think is kind of.
So all the weird stuff I do with my penis and Phallacies is real.
Yes.
The balloon pump, everything.
Yay! No, it's. I mean, it all has its place, and for Phallacies, you can't have a movie like Phallacies without that.
Yeah.
A lot of it, and I think in Phallacies, basically all of them were real, weren't they? For the most part, except for
we did have 2 female directors. We had Corey Deanne Callie and Poison Rouge. Obviously, they don't have penises themselves, so they had to have performers.
Not penis.
Yes. Well, like I said, when because I messaged Corey and I said, I didn't realize who that was in your segment until now. And I was like, wow, good on him. There we go. And now the title of your segment is Punching the Clown.
Punching the Clown.
So is the clown named Punching or just
his name Punches?
Punches. See,
I mean, it's a silent film. The name is never actually named in the film. That's just how I credit it.
Okay,
so
no,
it's irrelevant. I mean, as far as I know, the clown has no name.
But I like to know these things.
Yeah.
I like the context. I like to know the way it should be. Because it's like I still get pissed off. One of my big things is what they did to Salem's Lot. It's supposed to have an apostrophe in front of the S, so that Salem is short for Jerusalem. So Jerusalem's Lot, Salem's Lot. The book has the apostrophe, but the movies just say Salem's Lot. And I'm like, that's lazy. I'm sorry. And someone say, well, Todd, that's just, that's like, who cares?
It's an aesthetic choice, I guess.
I think it's important if you're going to be faithful, keep it there. But it's just how it is. But other than that, so after we have Phallacies, and I guess you would consider this new release of Phallacies the definitive version.
Yeah, I would say it's the definitive version. It's the longest cut. It's got the wraparound type of segment to kind of tie the things together. It's kind of like a loose wraparound. It's not integrated specifically into each segment, but it's kind of like an overarching thing that runs through the entire film.
So after the run for this one, especially, if there's interest, do you think later on down the road there'd be just a standard so that more people would be able to see it?
That's like a thing we gotta talk about, because first we didn't even know if we were going to release this version.
Well, I'm glad you are, because I would love to see more, and plus I got a chance to do another voice bit, so I'm always happy about that. But it's just with the controversy and everything, there are going to be some people after these copies sell out that are going to be like, well, how do I see this thing? How do I get a hold of it?
And that's kind of how we got to where we are now with this re-release, because after the pre-sales from last year were done, we were just like, that's it. And then we were like, well, maybe we'll do a standard. We don't know really if it's worth the investment, because it's costing money on our part.
Oh yeah, I can imagine, because you number all these things. Each copy of
they're all coming to me. I'm packing everything, signing everything, numbering it myself. It's coming from my place. So yeah, it's a lot of work and a lot of money to get these things made and sent out to everybody. So we weren't sure if it was going to be worth it for a standard just yet. We didn't know if it was going to sell any more than we already had. But we did have a lot of people come up like, Harry, where did we find this? It says it's sold out on the website. So it's like, we talked about it. It's like, okay, we'll do another limited re-release for the people that missed out. but we wanted to do something different than what we put out last time. So,
Well, what I appreciate too is that you guys, like you said, you put a lot of work into it. These aren't just, regular Blu-rays thrown out and just minimal on it. You have the card, the numbered, everything. It's like with Erotic too. There was a different phrase from the movie on every disc.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of work to print up and do.
Yeah.
But this, the packaging, the cards,
posters.
everything.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And so people, may go, well, and I gotta say, even for the regular 150 count edition of these and analogies, $35 is not bad.
Yeah. For a small production, yeah.
For everything you get, because there are some indie movies that will say, well, the disc is $40 and you get it.
And it's just the disc.
It's just the disc, the basic cover. And I go, okay, I get it, because they gotta rake in the money in order to get stuff like this out.
Yeah.
You guys go over the top and give us more. And so
we try to give a respectable presentation and make it something that people actually want, especially if people that like to collect things. I'm a collector. This is exactly what I would want as a collector.
If I had, really honestly, it wouldn't be that much more for me, but I really would love to have the edition with Dimmitiano on the cover, because I think the ultra limited is the other one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the poster in the back.
That's what I got, the one with God on the top.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have the one with Dimmitiano. So I don't know, maybe down the line, if I don't go broke after this month, which I'm almost already am, I'd probably order the other one, because again, it's like collect them all.
Yeah.
I kind of regret not getting the Valentine edition of Phallacies, but I was at a really bad spot last year when those were available, so I was lucky to get what I got. And but I also too figured, well, let others have the chance of getting them instead of me, being a part of them and snatching them up. What good does that do for people that want to see it? But I am grateful that for the Innocent edition that I at least got #1.
Yeah.
I was, yay! So I'm kind of excited to see what I get for Phallacies and Analogies.
Well, I spoiler, but I can guarantee you're going to get a good number.
Yay! Thank you. Because I was probably the first one online ordering.
You were the first sale made.
Because with different time zones, it's like when Dimmitiano announces something. Well, right now, I don't think, because he's showing a lot of stuff from Tetro video and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can ship here right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I know he's having some issues. I don't know if it's just costly to ship or if there's any kind of restriction. But
well, I'm trying to. Oh, it's over there, but I'll bring it up on the show later. But like for instance, In the Grip of Terror, which was the new one from Hex Studios, bringing back Amicus. I just got my copy the other day, and that was shipped from the UK. Because I had written to Laurie Brewster and said, our US order is going to be able to come through. And boom, there it was. So I was excited about that. So and like it on eBay, when a lot of stuff you want to order and it says it's shipping from Spain, shipping from it, it's like they don't announce on their things for the Blu-ray or whatever you want to order that due to current tariffs or something, they don't say anything. So it's like, I don't know if I should take a chance ordering stuff from Europe.
It seems like what I understand is a lot of these companies are just not shipping.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't, they're just not, because they don't want to deal with the
well, it is. It's a mess right now. And oh God, let's just hope in the near future we can. Well, I know we're all thinking the same thing. I don't need to go and preach into the choir, right? But it's a shame too, because Canada just right above us. And yet, I mean, things were usually a bit more expensive to ship, when you order from Canada anyway. Yeah. But now that they're like, we can't really ship to the US. It's a huge problem. That is ridiculous. I mean, we're in the same continent here, and it
just
can't
chuck it over the lawn.
No, it's
That's
like I
the
wish
best
I
period.
like for those people who live right next to the border, like or
Yeah, I
like
start a business right
someone's
there.
someone's backyard is at the end of their backyard is Canada, and then someone else's backyard. Like there's no, it's like, hey, order that disc and just I'll come get it from you. You know, it's so stupid. And I don't even know for Dark Side releasing. I don't even know if the ones I've shown here with For Halloween and Unburied Tales and that, I don't know if those are slipcover editions. I can't really see on their site saying that it is. So they may not be slipcover editions, but I would have been very disappointed having spent, you know, what I did on these discs, even though I got them through like Moviesing, and then, you know, find out that there was a slipcover later. And so, and again, I'm not really going to die if I don't have a slipcover, but when I'm a part of a film,
you want the completion.
I'm a completist when it comes to that. So
I got the same problem, man. Like I got Screw Year's Eve coming out. I got to have my slipcover. I did the artwork for Fatal Desires, which came out from Gator Blade Films. Sean Donahue directed. I did the artwork for like 3-4 different covers for that, so I had to make sure I got the slipcover for that one.
Well, Screw Year's Eve, I would probably want to get that one. You have to let me know when things are.
Well, I'm not sure if they're still up for on the Indiegogo. I know we hit the threshold to keep them up, but I'm not sure if he ended the list.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to write to Laurie Brewster for Hex and Amicus, because when they were only putting out one movie every year, I was able to sort of do the perk thing and get the movie and it autographed and my name in the credits and all that kind of good stuff. But ever since they broadened and they now have, it's Hex, the British Horror Studio, Amicus, and they're doing like 3 or 4 movies at the same time, productions. I can't be a part of those. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when they offer like order the Blu-ray through the campaign, but the problem is I can't. So I'm going to have to ask him, are they going to be available after they come out for us to order, you know, so they can still get a chance to get one. But yeah, right now I just can't throw money at every campaign that's out there.
It seems like there's like more coming out than ever now too. So I can't keep up anymore. Like I accumulated this collection over several years, but now it's like so much coming out I can't even keep up.
Just several
re-releasing stuff.
Just several? Because here's the thing for me. My first 2 DVDs were Freeway, Matthew Bright film with Reese Witherspoon, and Austin Powers. Those were the first 2 DVDs I got. And this was when DVD players were just kind of maybe, you know, I didn't have a DVD player yet, but I knew I would get one at some point later and might as well get the movies as they were available. So those were and we're talking 1997.
Yeah.
I think around then. And those thankfully were anamorphic. So if people who already had widescreen TVs around that time, it was anamorphic. But there are a lot of DVDs that were non-anamorphic, like the early Criterion DVDs. You have to double dip and rebuy them because they are on your widescreen TV. They're within that 1:3:3:1 square, and then letterbox within that. And it's just what is another movie that it shocked me? Oh, here it is. What shocked me is that this disc was released in 2008, and it's from Lionsgate, and you'd think by then movies would be anamorphic, all of them. But this cool little psychological thriller, The Chair, that I really like.
I haven't seen that one.
It's pretty cool. It's non-anamorphic. So it's a thick widescreen, you know, like the 1:8:5:1, the big one, but it's within that square. So it's not bad. The picture's still pretty big, but it looks weird on your TV. It's like what you call window boxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this for 2000, I mean, it's 2007, but I think this was released in 2008. And the fact that it's non-anamorphic and it has never been released otherwise, except for maybe a foreign disc. Maybe I'll have to get a foreign disc if it's anamorphic, but this is bullshit.
Yeah, I'll put that on my list. I got to remember that.
Yeah, now be careful because there's a new movie called The Chair.
Okay.
But this is, let's see here. I love this. I always do this every week. I put my flashlight down and I'm not sure where it is. This one is directed by Brett Sullivan and it says 2007. And it won some festivals. And some would say some of the reviews are mixed, not kind, saying it doesn't live up to its potential. Well, whatever. It still won some festivals.
Everybody's a critic, right?
Yeah, and it was just very different for all these Saw movies and everything at the time. And look, this cover is misleading, by the way. I read a couple reviews that said Lionsgate had this because they put out Saw. They started doing the pattern of doing covers that kind of reminded you of Saw.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a chair in this movie, but it's more ramshackle looking than this thing.
So there's one copy left on Amazon. It's not streaming anywhere.
No, isn't it bullshit? And there are I don't know if they're Canadian or what editions on eBay, but I don't see if they're anamorphic or not. And here's the thing, on Amazon lists this as a 235-1. It's not. Plus, it's not anamorphic. So they totally, what you see on Amazon listing the aspect ratio is wrong.
Okay.
But
yeah, it does say 235-1. Yep.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, because the picture is large enough, because it's like the 185 or something, so it fills up more. But unless you have a standard old analog TV or something, but otherwise, even if you have a widescreen TV, if you really want to see the movie, it's not going to ruin it for you if you don't have it filling up your whole screen.
Yeah.
But I would say take a chance on it because it's different. It's more psychological than anything. But there's a few moments, like I won't spoil anything, but let's just say there's a moment with a different chair in a hallway. That's all I'll say. And it was clever how they did it, and it caught me off guard. And it's just an interesting little story. So there you go. The Chair, 2007, folks, check it out.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not been reissued. And
it's in my cart now with for Halloween.
Well, I hope you like it because I hate to steer people towards movies and they go, "What did you make me watch?"
Well, it's $10. I got it used for $10 with 2 days shipping. So
yay!
Well,
right. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think because it is not the most groundbreaking film or anything, but it's different. And I really appreciate, and it's not going to be like, especially for the first half.
Yeah.
So, just kind of, I don't mind if a movie is slower and it doesn't have a bunch of jump scares and shit, as long as it, it has some interesting story and stuff. It's like with Possession. I know people that cannot get through the first 20, 25 minutes of that movie. They feel stressed by it because everyone's screaming at each other.
Yeah.
But they go, nothing's happening. It's boring. And I don't, but for me, I was like, where's this going? What is with these people?
It goes somewhere. It goes somewhere, all right.
Oh God, does it? Well, here's the sad thing too. I have the Velvet box that came out like, what was it, 10, 11 years ago or so? I can't remember.
Yeah,
now.
I've got that one too.
Yeah. But now, is it Second Sight?
Yeah, they put out a new one that's got the same cover art. I don't know if it's in a Velvet box, though.
No, it's not. But it's got a rigid case. It's got a book. It's got cards, I think. And it's got a 4K disc, which is all region, and a Region B Blu-ray.
That's how they get you with the 4K.
But here's the thing. The cheapest you can get it on Diabolic DVD, $64.99. Pre-order. It's not going to be out until December, I think. And I'm like, I would snatch it up in an instant just to have like the book and the new stuff. Because here's the thing. I confess, I pre-ordered Imprint's edition of Freaked, the Alex Winter film.
Oh.
That was massively expensive, but no one else is releasing it right now, and it's got all this new stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I gotta have it. And I would kill to have the new Possession release, especially because for the Blu-ray, I have an all-region player anyway. But $64.99 for that. And I'm just like, oh crap. I'm gonna and I just and speaking of 4K, everybody, I have a 4K player now, but I still have an old 2K TV. And you can still watch, you can still use your 4K player and you can watch 4K discs. They just look regular on your TV. However, I made the mistake recently. I didn't see Weapons when it was in the theaters. I mean, I saw chunks of it. Bite my anus. So basically, basically the issue is now more companies are releasing a 4K by itself instead of a 4K Blu-ray combo. So for Weapons, they released it separately. And I thought, well, it's only a couple dollars more. And all my friends said, you'll like it. Try it. You'll like it. And I was like, okay. And I had a little extra money that week. So I bought the 4K. And I watched it. And I was like, what the fuck? Because it's on a 2K TV, all of the scenes at night, all of the scenes in dark rooms when they're wandering through a dark house, you can't see anything.
Wow.
Like the dream sequence where she walks into the classroom and the kids all have their heads down and the one kid hit the... I couldn't see it. It was like I saw movement, but I couldn't see anything on my TV.
No details.
Nothing. And I was furious. So I got a chance to see the Blu-ray edition. Made all the difference in the world. You could see everything. And I looked it up and I Googled, what's the problem with the 4K of Weapons? And there was this explanation that because, it wasn't a 4K TV, and also it also makes sure if you have a 4K TV that you don't have it in filmmaker mode or something. I don't know all that tech stuff really, but all I know is if I see movies out on 4K only, and it's going to be a movie like Weapons where I'm probably not going to watch it a million times, I'll probably go for the Blu-ray edition instead of the 4K, unless it's something big deal. I just, you can't, and that's weird because I have I have quite a few because there was a sale on Kino titles at Barnes and Noble. And I picked up Xanadu. I picked up Coneheads. I picked up Vice Squad. I picked up some others. They all look fine. But Weapons, it's just black. And you're just, what the fuck? I can't see anything. So for everyone out there, if you have a 4K player, but not yet a 4K TV, beware. And that's why it ruined the whole experience for me watching the 4K disc. I couldn't get into the thrills or anything because I couldn't see what was going on.
Well.
Anyway, so there you go. Todd's helpful hint of the day. Now, so we're stressing to everyone. So see that at the bottom of the screen below John's name. And is it it's Dagon, right?
Dagon Films.
Dagon or Dagon?
Dagon Films at bigcartel.com.
Yeah, because you can get Erecting a Monster still.
Yep, you get shipping discounts if you're ordering multiple things. We'll put a discount in there.
And
it's cheaper to ship.
So for currently, the copies of the new version of Phallacies are still available, as well as the both editions
Yeah,
of
the combo.
Analogies, right? And you
Yeah.
can get the combo of Analogies and Fallacies, and they're all still available.
Yep,
But of
and-
course, who knows how quickly they'll go?
Yeah, they're limited, extremely limited. They're like 150, so
Yeah, folks.
it won't be around long. And the pre-sale's running through end of the year, so you have till December 31st. Get your order
Unless
in.
they're gone, unless
Yeah,
they're
unless
gone,
they're gone
before that.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes something will happen or somebody will post something and then everyone jumps really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like with Vinegar Syndrome stuff. It's like something will sit there and then somebody will post, oh, it's down to 500 copies. And then by the next day,
they get the FOMO.
I kind of fell for I've been checking Vinegar Syndrome every day for whatever new different title they have. And they're not really sale priced. I guess if you order the staff pick of the day for Sintober, you get extra points. Yeah. So instead of saving those up for something else, like when they had those slip covers available, I thought I worked all that to get 1,500 points. I'm not going to get a slip cover. I'd rather have $10, $15 off.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because at first I was thinking, oh, I want the slipcover for the hearse or something. And then I thought, well, I hated that movie. So I'm falling into this collector thing. It's like, well, why? It's like I'm not going to buy Tromeo and Juliet. I know people think that movie is
I like
classic.
it, but I already have it and I'm a subscriber, so I'm getting it again. So
I don't know. I'm not a Shakespeare guy, even when they try to do it in different versions. But I don't know. There was something about it that just didn't engage me. So I'm not going to buy that. The only other, and I can't collect all Vinegar Syndrome now. They're too expensive. Here comes Chris. But the only other one that they released, oh, you had to do that, Chris. You had to do that. I missed out on that slipcover. For Delirium Photo of Guy. Yeah, Chris. Oh,
was
Chris,
that Roberto Bava, right?
As Maud used to say on her show, God'll get you for that, Walter. So
that's another movie I already owned and I got sent because I'm a subscriber.
Well, I have it on the old
Code Red, was it?
Scorpion or Code Red.
Yeah.
And the slipcover is decent enough, so I'm kind of sad.
Is it in 4K? I can't remember if it was 4K or not.
Yes, and like with Southern Comfort, I just have the standard. I missed out on the rigid slipcover and the booklet, all that. But they were getting lower on the numbers, so I went ahead and ordered the standard. It's just like I fell for it yesterday. I shouldn't have, because I'm trying to hold what money I have in the account on the card. But they had Bloodbath at the House of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw. Well, I know.
Went crazy about it.
They were down to like 500 copies, and I thought I like Vincent Price stuff too. And even though he's only in like one scene, but I just thought, oh man, 500 copies. You watch, it'll just suddenly zip away. So I was like, oh, okay, because what it is it was $22.49, and then I had the $5 off for points, so I got it for $18, and it piled on to what I pre-ordered early for this month. Did you order the flying disc from April Fool's?
I did. Yeah.
Remember the snafu for that one?
For the disc?
When people like, you could order other things at the time, pre-order, but when you clicked on the flying disc, it wouldn't
add to the cart.
At the checkout, it wouldn't.
I never had a problem.
Oh,
I must have been a little later then.
People were pissed off because I even wrote to them and said, "Hey, I couldn't get the disc because of this fuck up," and they were like, "Well, the order's done," and I was like, "God damn it!" But then apparently, because I had posted a few things in the fan group, and people were like, yay, do this for Todd, But Vinegar Syndrome did then announce for those that were trying to order it and stuff that they sent you an email and said, click here and it will go through.
They didn't want to make it public or whatever.
Right. It's so I managed to get one finally. And did you see the person that announced what they think it is?
I saw a few rumors. I just assumed Hard Ticket to Hawaii, but
because other people think it's a double feature from the same director of the PG movie Swim Team and Demon Rage with Britt Eklund.
I'd rather have that because I already have Hard Ticket to Hawaii. So
yeah, well, somebody posted that this guy that posted this said, "Well, he's always right." So I don't know. I those are two movies I've never seen.
Give me Surf Ninjas.
No, I really, there's some movies now that I used to think I had to have each Vinegar Syndrome. This was before they had all the partner labels. When they only had like 1 or 2 partner labels, fine. But now that they have like 30, 35 different partner labels.
And growing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Wild Eye even. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. So I try to get the IFC, Shudder. Those two I
like Saturn's Core personally. And
I did, but then they put out, I don't know if it was Saturn's Core or VH Shitfest.
I get them too, and Bleeding Skull.
Paul's Home Horror or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got about 15 minutes into that, and besides him, I don't know if it was the same woman, but constantly tits, and plus it was just. I'm sorry if the filmmaker sees this, but oh my God, it's one of those DIY
home
films.
movies.
It's just home that shot on the fly, and just oh my God, I was just no, and I spent what, $27 on that?
Yeah,
$7.99. So I used to collect the Saturn's Core. I have all of them up to like number 20 something. But then, like I said, with all the partner labels and other ones that I would want more, I just couldn't. It's like the BS archive titles too. I kind of lost track of those. The ones that I will not buy, like I said, the one that I made sure I didn't buy. I could have probably bought the bundle and saved money, but I did not want There's Nothing Out There. I don't like that movie very much. I had a discussion with Ginecki, whatever, the filmmaker. I just felt the film was an excuse every 5 to 10 minutes to get gals fully frontal naked. And in the interview, they even mentioned that there's the naked female auditions as an extra on the I had the Image DVD, but not the male ones. And they kind of said, well, because if it would have been a separate extra for the male auditions, men who are uncomfortable looking at that don't have to click on that.
Yeah.
They only included the naked female auditions, and the movie has some clever moments, but again, every 5 to 10 minutes it was, and they would say, well, they could say they're parodying some horror movies where, you get gals naked, but I honestly just got annoyed. And that was the one I made sure I didn't get. And then of course you got ones like The Golden Child and all these, like, those are too Hollywood.
Yeah, too mainstream. Not really what you get a Vinegar Syndrome for.
Exactly. And plus, I'm not an Eddie Murphy fan anyway.
Yeah,
I know I've said the spiel where after he did Delirious and he had those homophobic AIDS jokes and stuff. I mean, now you got Family Guy cracking an AIDS joke and it's deconstruction. But what Eddie Murphy was doing was just plain awful. I had friends dying left and right, and here he made these jokes, and he apparently apologized for it not too long ago, but it was Backpage News. Nobody knows about it. Somebody told me. I was like, oh. But I don't watch Eddie Murphy stuff in general, but Golden Child, I've
never seen it.
No, me neither. Well, because I don't watch Eddie Murphy movies, and I don't understand. I'm not knocking Vinegar Syndrome. I'm still grateful to them because they've given us stuff we would never, ever have gotten to see the light of day. And they're amazing, but there are some titles that just had me go, what?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was thrilled for, you know, there were Paramount titles like Let's Scare Jessica to Death and others that, definitely.
I even thought like Beastmaster was okay.
Yeah. And, you know, that's the other funny thing is I saw Beastmaster when I was in college when it first came out because I thought, oh, the director of Phantasm. And it was funny too, because I remember Tanya Roberts and the other actresses refused to do nudity in Tourist Trap.
Mm-hmm.
But then here she was like tits a popping in Beastmaster. And I had, when I was watching it, I was thinking, wait, what's this rated? And it was just PG. Yeah. And yeah, then you had all of them topless and naked in the pond. And I'm just like, wow, what happened to the MPA on this one? But, and again,
there's a few movies like that.
Yeah.
I am no prude.
I am no prude. And I say this over and over, but there's
the ferrets.
Yeah, there they are. No, Beastmaster's fun. I remember writing a review of it when I was writing letters to friends during the summer on break from high school, and I remember mentioning Rip Torn's fashion skull clips that he had. I was like, I wanted those little skull clips he had on his ears. But it's a fun movie. But yeah, shocker for a PG. Because then you have movies like I think it's because I pestered Vinegar Syndrome about it to get The Caller released, the Malcolm McDowell movie. And that one, PG as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But it got an R rating. Yeah. For what? There's like no cussing. There's no nudity. There's a scene where she pretends like she's seducing him at first, but nothing. And the finale, which I won't spoil for people who haven't seen it, is not that gruesome. So, you know, why did it get an R rating? It's always a mystery. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Beastmaster, yeah, that one was a worthwhile one to have out, and even Rad when they had it. For the time being, because I know MVD has been picking up some of the titles. Oh, cover those breasts.
You can't show that.
So fast. We're okay. That was a fast one. So it was like, but yeah, God, that was a shocker. What was great too is back then for the PG rating, there wasn't an explanation as to why it was rated what it was rated, like they do now. For bloody images, for graphics. Graphic sex means full frontal. Oh, there you go. Okay.
But you can show the man's chest, I see.
Yeah, you can show his nipples. That's fine. Equal opportunity nudity. Yeah. That's what I believe in. But, you know, if something was PG, like in the 70s, you know, you had Logan's Run. And on the commentary, the director explains, well, look, we don't really show anything, blah, blah, blah. And you do see Jenny, I don't know, is it Agater or is that how you pronounce her name?
From Logan's Run? Yeah, but she changes real quick.
Yeah, she changes real quick, which, by the way, is weird because the continuity error that a lot of people don't seem to notice is after they put the furs on, when all hell breaks loose and they throw their furs off, their clothes are back on underneath the furs. Anyway, but yeah, and then there was the sex shop where everybody was like having an orgy. And you could tell what was going on. That in itself, I thought, well, it was PG or R, right? So they went with PG. But today that would have at least been a PG-13, I guess, because it's not that revealing. But I loved how in the 70s it was mystery grab bag. You did not know what you were going to get. And it's what I also liked about the Spielberg involved movies like, the Goonies was the 80s, but even E.T. and other movies for what people consider family films.
Yeah. And then they say stuff like penis breath.
There was loads of cussing. The Goonies has loads of cussing. And they did it in E.T. And yeah, and I think Super 8, when that came out, was kind of like a throwback to that. It seems like you kids could watch it, but they threw in enough that it wasn't innocent. Totally innocent. So I appreciated that. And I miss the mystery PG realm. It's like, look at movies like Tommy were only rated PG, which were pushed the envelope a bit, especially with Tina Turner's Acid Queen sequence.
Yeah.
And then of course Litzomania though was rated R, and justifiably so. But there we go.
Goonies.
Oh yeah, there's a penis there. Yeah, PG movie penis. I think I mentioned this on last week's show, but did you ever see Morons from Outer Space?
No.
Fun movie. British.
Morons from Outer Space. Okay.
Morons
Let me put that one in too.
Okay. There's a scene where an army general is walking along this road, and all these townspeople, there we go, Chris, are running alongside of him trying to get his attention. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, is this full frontal naked man running right up to him and right at him. And it's just PG-13.
Mike Hodges.
But, what?
Mike Hodges.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the director.
Yeah. It's just fun. It's ridiculous and fun. And I wish I had that on Blu-ray, but I think it's still just available as an MGM DVD. But yeah, that was a PG-13, and you had full frontal male nudity. I know in the 80s when they were experimenting with PG-13, like in The Bride, and I forget what other movie, there was full frontal female. So that was a bit of a surprise. And when they said that, well, in a PG-13 in the 80s, you could say the word fuck up to about 3 times as long as it wasn't sexual. But permanent record with Keanu Reeves, I counted variations of the word fuck 5 different times in the movie. And the recent June Squibb film, Thelma, from last year, had it 3 times in a PG-13. But again, I am not judging. I am not saying, oh, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. I'm just saying it's funny how
it's inconsistent.
Certain ones can. No, for that. That's an automatic R. Like smoking now, like a cigarette, even is like a PG-13.
Yeah.
For a cigarette. What the? That's so stupid. Because I remember the Whale Rider got a PG-13 instead of a PG because of the one scene where the girl goes up to her uncle and he had a joint and he quickly throws it away. PG-13 for that.
Damn.
I know. This country is so uptight. Otherwise,
hey, Todd, I've got to jump out of here real quick.
Yeah, because I say we were wrapping up with fallacies and we just digressed. But so any other news or anything you want to tell everybody?
I just went to the premiere for another film I was in. Speaking of ratings, they're calling this rated R. I feel like it's more PG-13. It's definitely one of the tamer films I've done, but it's a great film, well written. It's called Velvicide.
Yeah, I've seen you posting that.
It's a really good film. It's sort of horror. It's more of like a thriller mystery type of thing. But I play like a character I don't usually play in that. Kenneth Perkins and Failsafe Productions were behind this film, and hopefully it's getting a release pretty soon. So be on the lookout.
Yeah, I do want to see that one.
Yeah,
but otherwise, I guess everybody can come to your site.
Yep.
And
yep. And we got Phallacies, Analogies. I still got Erecting a Monster on the site. And then we got Screw Year's Eve coming out pretty soon also. That's it won't be on my site, but it'll be available somewhere.
Okay. And then is there any places people can follow you if they want to follow you?
Yeah, I'm Jon Devlin. You can find me on Facebook under Jon Devlin. You can find me on Instagram under Devlin Valak, which is my when I was a pro wrestler, that was my wrestling name, which is why I'm using that one.
All right.
I'm Devlin's Domain on X and YouTube. Oh, and let me also plug, we got toe tags if you're into feet fetishes. It's not really per se to fallacies or analogies, but it's kind of adjacent to those.
It's in that that universe, and it's still in production, right?
Yes, it's done as far as I know. I think we're done with it because I've seen a cut, and I think that's the finished cut. But it still has to be,
Well, when
just
that one's
produced and everything, that's going to be from Tetra Video. So I don't know how accessible that's going to be because of the shipping and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll ask Dom, but I'm not expecting him to, favor me and just ship one on its own. But yeah, I don't want to miss that one. And that's a shame because I did want to get, there were a couple other releases, like he was showing Jack the Saint Ripper in a really cool edition that I would love to have, even though I have the Dark Side releasing one here from here. But yeah, it's a shame. It's torturous because there's all this stuff that they're showing, but we can't get them.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of doing me a favor there because I don't need to spend that much money sometimes.
Well, yeah, but if it's like, if I can live without the new edition of Jack the Saint Ripper because I have it, but if it's something I don't have, and especially if I'm a part of it, because I'm really worried about the Transparent Woman. I don't know when he's going to release that director's cut, but my voice replaced the husband character through the whole movie. And I definitely must have that when it comes out. But if it's only available in Europe and they can't ship here, I'm going to be like,
kind of annoyed.
I'm going to have my own protest in the streets.
Right.
So, yeah, but well, good deal. And so everybody go to Dagon Films, bigcartel.com.
Yep.
Get Erecting a Monster, Phallacies, Analogies. Get them. And you won't regret it. Just don't ask your mom to watch it.
Yeah, it could be awkward.
Unless she's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
okay.
Todd, Captain Cartoon. It's nice hanging with you guys.
Thank you so much. And come back anytime.
I will.
All right. Yay. See ya. I love Jon. He's so cool. I just was honored to be a part of stuff he's doing and with Dimmitiano. And it's just, this is like a high point in my life. What can I say? I'm not getting any younger, so I want to have a party for the rest of my life here, and it's happening. Yeah. So Bill, he said he had a meeting with others about Gonzo Geezer.
Oh, Frank and John.
Yeah. And I don't know, because he said he was going to join in, but I don't know if he is, because we're almost 2 hours in, and I don't want to, hold up the show, to see if he's going to be in or not, because Bill's always welcome anyway. I messaged Mike Caravella and told him that he was welcome to update Astral Plane Drifter. I did not get a reply back from him because he did a show of that last night in 29 Palms, which is about over an hour away from me. And I didn't go last night for that. But I figured he's been very busy with that. So that's okay. So what I'll announce is, excuse me, I only got about 3 hours sleep. And I got to work tonight, but who cares? So next weekend, if you're especially in the Coachella Valley area, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, Indio, Coachella, all of those areas, even Yucca. Next Friday night, the 24th, at the Festivals Theater on Tockwitz Way in downtown Palm Springs, Astral Plane Drifter will be showing at 9:30 p.m. There is a horror short fest before that. And Mike will be a judge on that. And so if you want to go see the short fest and then see Astral Plane Drifter, the following weekend, October 31st, November 1st, November 2nd, it will be screening at the same theater, 7:30 and 9:40 each night. I will be there hopefully for all of those except for November 1st. So if you want to see me, come get photos and stuff. The 24th, the 31st, and the 2nd especially, I'll be there. And there we go. And like I said, it's the Festivals Theaters. It used to be the Regal. And so the Palm Springs Film Festival took it over. And so that'll be a fun thing. If you don't have Halloween plans, just come out. if you're coming out that weekend, and you won't regret it. It's a great movie. Of course, I am in it. And it's now won 5 Best Feature awards. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
4 other awards and like 9 other nominations. So it's doing good in these screenings. He's doing it old school, and so he said that maybe near the end of this year he's going to try to get a very limited, like 250 copies of a Blu-ray. That will be for like when he hits some conventions or screenings. So it'll be very limited. I'm going to make sure to get one, of course, but he's still going to do this thing with it. It's so much fun. So come see Astral Plane Drifter. It's a sci-fi Western kung fu grindhouse psychedelic stoner comedy. A mixture of Cheech, Lebowski, and Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Nice.
That says it all. So we were doing kind of clown things this month. And so I sort of threw up some options. We had Shakes the Clown, Haunt, and then I realized the one that I didn't mention, we can always do this one at some point, Clown, which is really cool. And can't get the slipcover back on. I'll do that later. And what was the other thing I got here? Speaking of clowns, before we get to Haunt, I was one of the first to see Killer Clowns from Outer Space when it first came out. So I was really thrilled. So all these young kids now with the Killer Clown stuff, I'm like, yeah, I was already there, bud. So one of the things I'm happy to have is my Dickies EP of Killer Clowns. It also does a cover of the song from the Jetsons, the 60s Jetsons cartoon. The song Eep Op Ork is on it.
Yeah.
But they do a better version than the one that was done on that Saturday morning compilation that bands covered all those songs. My CD is autographed by the Dickies.
Nice.
They played in Palm Desert at the Hood. Oh, we're talking almost 15 years ago, and got him to autograph it. And the other thing about Killer Clowns is, where's the button? I have this guy,
Nice.
and I also have, there it is, this guy that lights up. So I had to have those. I don't have all the Killer Clown stuff because you could go to Walmart and they've got stuff. But, these were very important to me. So I'm really thrilled to have that. And the other thing I'll recommend to people before we get into Haunt is I managed to finally get the Blu-ray, an overlooked movie from the 80s. And it was because Steven Spielberg took his name off of the producer credit because he thought it was a little darker than he liked, which is bullshit considering stuff he's been involved in, like Poltergeist. 3 O'Clock High, everybody. If you've never seen 3 O'Clock High, yeah. This is like one of the best 80s high school movies ever. It's up there with 16 Candles, and if you want to say Breakfast Club or Pretty in Pink, stuff like that. This one is amazing. Visually, it's a wow. The story is great. And stay away from that Charlie Day Ice Cube comedy called Fist Fight. They ripped off this movie. So 3 O'Clock High, I still have my old DVD of it as well. The soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, I have that as well. And I guess for Halloween, I thought I'd impress everybody with my old 7-inch single of Tubular Bells from when The Exorcist came out.
Nice.
That's old. Here's the original 7-inch of Bobby Boris Pickett's Monster Mash. Yeah. And here's one, because this record label rarity, Live and Let Die from Paul McCartney and Wings on Apple Records. Yeah. And
that's a solid song.
Yeah, and if you're gonna dress up like Tiny Tim, I'm gonna be a country queen. He's gonna be like Miss Dolly about the song. The otherwise, yeah, Sugar Bears, one of those cutout records that you got off the back of like Alphabets and Honey Cereal.
Hell yeah.
And Kim Carnes was the female vocalist. Betty Davis eyes Kim Carnes. She was the vocalist in the Sugar Bears. This one I really, really wanted to get on one of the shows. If you can find this, and you can, go to Discogs. It's a 2-record 7-inch EP set. There's like usually 2 songs on each side. Inflatable Boy Clams. I know trust me, this is worth it. There's a song called I'm Sorry on this that it might be on YouTube. Oh my God, you'll laugh your ass off. And they also have a song called Skeletons. And what's bizarre is the B-side of the Skeletons 7-inch is just the song in reverse. Apparently these were 4 gals from San Francisco, I think. Right. Yeah, this was I don't know. This came out around 1980, I think, or something. 1981. Inflatable Boy Clams, people. Otherwise, yeah, Sean Cassidy. And as I mentioned last week, hunt this one down if you can. Holly and Joey. That's Joey Ramone and Holly Beth Vincent. I Got You, Babe. Because every time it's up on YouTube, it gets yanked. So you got to have the record. And okay, so let me get my... Oh, Adam Freeman, who was on our show last week. Yes. So as I mentioned, Deadly Dealings, contact him for the Blu-ray. I think it's streaming on Tubi, but his Scream Dream is coming out. Otherwise, he's in this movie that he was a part of also, Truly Madly. What's interesting is this film was his homage to Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. It's very, he says this Butcher Baker heavily influenced Truly Madly. So for the Adam Freeman, you got to get those. Otherwise, Last Stop to Yuma County. Do yourself a favor. Don't miss that. And now on to our review segment, I guess you want to call it. I picked up this DVD when it first came out because it wasn't in theaters around here. But here we go. Haunt from 2019. And it is directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. Here's a trailer, I guess.
This cannot be ignored.
Yes, we're doing it.
It's the end. Say goodbye.
Is this supposed to be scary?
Breathe deeply. Close your eyes. Keep that monster.
That room is so fun.
Yeah.
We just want to leave. What's happening?
Please don't hurt me.
want to see my face?
And the trailer shows enough without actually giving you the entire plot, which is fun. The only disappointment I have is that little song, the child singing, it's not in the movie.
No.
That I remember. So I hate that when a trailer will have, like the trailer for 3 O'Clock High uses a song from Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, but it's nowhere in the film, I don't think. So, but the interesting thing about Haunt is also, you know, people taunt that Eli Roth produced it as well. This was, it has Shudder on it, and Shudder was basically always released via RLJE. And then I've seen a couple Shudders through, I don't know, Shout Factory, but then IFC and Shudder are teaming up sometimes. But this one from 2019 was Momentum, which is a subsidiary of Universal. So it's funny that instead of just throwing everything out on one label, like with Lionsgate has all those subsidiaries like Vertical and other stuff. So I don't understand why they do that, but this was Momentum, and it was also Entertainment One, which you rarely see something Entertainment One in the theaters. E1 puts out used to put out tons of DVDs. Walmart would always have them. But this one is unusual because not only is it Momentum Universal, it's also Shudder and Entertainment One.
I think I remember them pushing that on their Fair Fest, like the first year it came out.
Yeah, and it's, but you know what? Despite all that, I just thought it was interesting that all these different companies were involved with it. Now, right off the bat, you see the trailer, and I think, oh God, a bunch of pretty young people, and these are supposed to be college age. They're all pretty. Everybody at this college is pretty. Carbondale, Illinois. That Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. I was a little further north. That's south of St. Louis on the Illinois side. And about 30 miles north of St. Louis is Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, SIUE, and that's where I went to college. So I've been to Carbondale. Although this movie was not shot in Carbondale, Illinois, it was shot in Kentucky. So that's just a fun fact. But yeah, at first I was like, oh no, it's a bunch of pretty young people. And oh no, you know, one of them's going to be the bitch. One of them's, you know, it's going to be like the fat guy who's the funny one. Honestly, I was surprised. I mean, yeah, they're all pretty, but they weren't assholes. They were friends. They were nice to other people. The one guy at first, the jock-looking guy, he was, when he threw a tantrum at the club, I was like, oh no, of course, here's the big jock. Yeah. But then he turned out to calm down and was okay. So nobody was hateful in this movie. You can tell they were friends and they were basically good people. So you rooted for them at least. You didn't think, well, that one's an asshole, kill him off. You know, it wasn't anything like that. Yeah, it was a surprise in that manner. And then we all, right off the bat too, the standard is, because it was public domain, you get Night of the Living Dead on a TV screen.
Yeah.
There. So basically what it is they're college kids. I won't say kids. I don't know. They were college students, and it's Halloween, and they're looking for some fun. So there's flyers for this extreme haunted house, and they weren't going to actually go to that one. They were just going to go find something that was close by. Excuse me. And so they just happened to be pulled over on the side of the road where the entrance to that haunted house was, the extreme one. And, of course, what a coincidence. But they go to that, and once they get inside, of course, I say more. But the one thing I will have a qualm with the whole setup is if they printed out all those flyers, you'd think there would have been a line of people. There would have been a lot of cars coming to this place, and there would have been people waiting to get in. And if that was the case, if they were killing people, how would that be explained that all these people were disappeared or something? There are gaping holes in this. But honestly, if you don't think about that, you don't care, because for what it makes up for, lacking other things, it's consistently tense. I was squirming over a few things. If you don't like spiders or nails, you will squirm a bit in this.
Oh yeah, they try to they kind of give you a gory kill, but then they take the gore out. It's like,
yeah, I mean there are a couple graphic moments, but a lot of it is your imagination run wild. You think you're seeing more than you are. And I kind of admired that they didn't just go the Terrifier route and just make it all graphic kills, and that's the whole point. This one was consistently intense. I'm shocked at some of the reviews, because I've in the past gone through IMDb and looked at external reviews, and reviewers will have 2 stars for it, said it was fair. One said, if only they would have done this, the movie would have been more memorable. How could you say this movie's not memorable? After I first saw it, I was like, wow, that was actually a really nice surprise. And there's the jock guy. Hated him at first, but then he kind of calmed down. Although totally stressed out in this situation, of course. And it's interesting, too, that the gal there, you learn about her background, her family life, about halfway through. And that's kind of almost a driving force for the second half of the film. Her experiences in her childhood kind of lead her to have this stronger survival mode going on. And it's just, before I open up the package for it that I have, I appreciated too that they had the old style. Well, besides that one, they had like old style masks, the kind that when I was a kid in the late 60s, these masks, those were kind of cool, kind of a nostalgia thing for me. There was really one good jump scare. It wasn't all about jump scares. You notice it, but there was one that kind of suddenly happened that did make me jump. It had to do with when the two of them are trying to reach through a fence.
Oh yeah,
inside.
yeah. For
that one,
crowbar or whatever.
That one caught me off guard a little bit. And I know people are going to expect something now, but the problem is you don't know if or what or when, so it's a surprise. Yeah, and plus, if they put out those flyers, you notice this was an elaborate setup. This was not. I mean, there was decorations, there was all these booby traps, there was everything. So this was an elaborate setup. So if they were doing what they were doing, the people who ran this thing, how could they figure they're going to get away with it? That was my question. But again, if you don't think about that, it's fine. Because the movie, like I said, makes up for any gaping holes by giving you lots of thrills and actually people you like. And even there wasn't even like, aside from the guy's tantrum in the beginning, they were all likable. Well, and even the ex-boyfriend that was following
he turned
them,
out not to be an asshole. It's like,
he probably was an asshole because he hit her. He hit her in the past. Yeah. So he was an asshole, but you really didn't get him to see him being an asshole, except for when he was following them. But he wasn't, because it was one of those things where you got a character throughout the movie, and then like what happened to the guy in The Shining, the 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 older black man in The Shining. You know, you get these characters, and suddenly there's like, oh, that was it of that person. But yeah, so everybody was likable. It was incredibly intense. It was, you weren't bored ever. And it just, let's see here. Although one thing, and I couldn't believe she did this, when you are in a bad situation and you're worried about who might be out there in the dark, you don't say, hello, who's there? Oh, also, this movie is guilty of one thing I totally fucking hate, and they still do this. Oh, please let me go. I promise I won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think if I'm in a situation like that, I thought I was going to die or something, I don't think I would even say that. I won't tell anybody. I promise. I promise. Oh yeah. You're bloody. You're injured. You got to go to a hospital.
Even in the situation that happened, it felt like dude was gonna let him go anyway. He really didn't have to say anything.
Yeah. Although, it just, but then there was that girl in the beginning with, when they thought they were watching, a show.
Yeah.
And that's one thing too that got me about, what was it? Was it The Barn 2 or 3 or something? You have other movies that do this where people, actually, there was a movie with, was his name John Hawkes, from a long time ago called Scary Movie.
Okay.
And it was about a haunted house like this. And people were, thinking they were watching a show. I'm sorry, I'm looking down here. My flashlight rolled off of, it went under my computer desk. Oh, well, I'm not going to fish it out now. But Scary Movie did that. And we're talking 30-something years ago. So this is not new. The concept is not new. But it still had its own thing going, and it was still intense. And I got a kick out of it. I don't understand how some of the reviews are just kind of bland about it.
Oh yeah, you thought it was gonna end like 3 times too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I liked. That's what I liked about Founders Day. About an hour in, you're thinking, oh, okay. And then they just keep pulling the rug out from under you. But yeah, this one, I've seen anything and everything that's out there for 60 years. And it takes a lot to engage me, especially when it's a horror movie. And this one was a lot of fun. Let's see what else I had on here. Oh, it was also kind of fun because over the end credits, you had that nice acoustic version of the song Dragula.
Oh, yeah.
From Rob Zombie. And that's, speaking of the soundtrack, because I think I covered everything on my notes.
I heard a fucking funk soul cover of Dragula the other day.
Yeah. Oh, that's the cover for the DVD, at least, because here is my Ronin Flicks. Ronin Flicks is a boutique label website, and they sell some other labels as well. And they had a big Halloween sale this month. I couldn't buy anything, but so when you open up this special edition, you can't see the artwork that well, but it's a slipcover Blu-ray of Haunt. And the Blu-ray also has the CD soundtrack.
Nice.
And it has new extras on it that the DVD didn't have. So when you open underneath all of this, lift it up. This is what's, oh shit. Almost bent it. All right. I'm going to try to fucking, yeah, of course I always bend it. Not only do you get 4 different posters of the different masks, the flyer. Okay. I don't need to show all the posters, but a poster-sized blueprint of the haunted house.
Hell yeah. You didn't even get that with fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No. Magnets of the, yeah, I think there's 4 different magnets in here. I never opened it up yet. And then a really fun part, pins of the mask. And that all came in this fun box. I don't remember what the price was. But yeah, so if you want all of this stuff, yeah, I don't think Ronin Flicks, of course, sells this anymore. I don't even know if they would have the Blu-ray separately. But I did see it on eBay yesterday, this Blu-ray, along with 4 posters for, I think, 28 something. But
that's pretty good.
Yeah, for that. I mean, you're not getting everything, but pretty nifty box. They also did a box thing like this for I Spit on Your Grave, the original, that had all the, it had that and the Deja Vu, or the newer one that was really bad, the 2.5 hour, you know. But so Ronin Flicks is pretty cool. Check him out. And I'm really glad I got this. That's everything. Then also for Halloween, I had to show this. This was a British import, because speaking of clowns, and I'll get to that. The Dead Kennedys song Halloween.
Nice.
I mean, it's fun to have just for that, because it's just the regular, 3-minute song on the A side. This is a 12-inch single.
Oh,
and
damn.
the B side is Saturday Night Holocaust. And there's a clown for you on the B side. Oh, the lyrics for I guess it's the lyrics for the B side, because this is not the lyrics for Halloween. That's odd. But anyway, so yeah, I remember buying this when it first came out. We're talking 1982. Eric Records. Yes, I'm old, people. And then now this I bought when I was in high school. This is from 1981, and it was on IRS Records, which was the label that the Go-Go's and Oingo Boingo and Lords of the New Church, English Beat, all those were on IRS Records. Dead Kennedys, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. And the reason I'm showing this one is because this was the first release that had this photo on the back. And apparently they didn't legally obtain this photo. So on the very next pressing, it was, I don't know if it was the band without the heads. And then one time it was like shadows and question marks. They kept toying with it, but this is the original with that photo on the back. So Dead Kennedys, yeah.
Damn.
And I gotta say, the sonics on these old Dead Kennedys albums sounded like they were recorded in somebody's basement, but it's punk. So this is famous for having the song Police Truck on it. And so that's Dead Kennedys. And what else we got going? I think I did want to recommend also to those. I mentioned this before, but you guys cannot miss out, especially for this season, for Imaginarum, a movie based on the album by the metal band Nightwish. That's Quinn Lord. He was Sam in Trick or Treat. It's got musical numbers. It's like Terry Gilliam and Tim Burton, and I want to say Neil Gaiman, but he's in hot water right now. If you mash them all together, it's this is one of my all-time favorite films. I cry at the ending every time. And that's not saying it's a sad ending. I'm just saying it will get you emotional for sure. So speaking of Trick or Treat, I didn't get the CD yet, but I went ahead and got the vinyl. It's a really cool gatefold. I'll try to pull out one of the records. It's basically the vinyl is candy corn colored. I'm not going to get up and go over. I'll maybe show it next week because Halloween coming up. But I do have a Trick or Treat. It's the little wagon, and it's got pumpkins on it. And when you lift the handle, it lights up the jack-o'-lanterns. It's really cool. I have that. And but yeah, Trick or Treat. Otherwise, I guess we'll be wrapping things up soon here. So also for the Halloween season. Now you could get this on CD now, but it was limited to 500 copies from Dragon's Domain. But this is
nice.
Grizzly. Yeah.
That's a good ass movie. I love it.
I saw it. Friends of mine, we were, what was this, 1977 or something? I think I was in junior high at the time, but me and some friends, my one friend's mom took us all to this theater to see it. It was PG, so no problem.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Grizzly. And I mean, that scene with the boy getting killed. I mean, for a PG movie, wow. But
it's
yeah.
Jaws in the Woods. No problem.
Yeah, Jaws in the Woods.
No problem.
And then another one that's kind of good if you want something a little more intelligent for the season. The movie The Endless. And now here's the thing. I didn't want to buy a download. And I thought, I'll get the vinyl because the vinyl came with a download card. And I am glad it did because then I could transfer the download to CD. Beautiful gatefold cover. The vinyl is beautiful. Let me show you here. Beautiful vinyl. This was like $30, $35. And here's the thing about new vinyl and all these, hipsters getting the vinyl. I prefer CD. As much as this costs and says it's on high grade vinyl, it sounds like shit. You drop the needle and this is a very soft synth score. It's mostly kind of dreamlike. So having to hear through every single track and in the gaps between the tracks on both sides.
See, they got new Tetris vinyl out, and I'm worried about that.
I say if you want the vinyl it's beautiful. This one did come with a download card. I'd say unless you want the physical thing, download it and then transfer it onto a couple CDs in case one eventually fucks up on you later on. And again, because you never guarantee that all your files are you download music and stuff. There's no guarantee your files are going to stay there forever. So what I do is I make like 2 of every CD I make. That way, because I've had ones where one track will go or something, and then you got the other. So I always make 2. That's something you should do if you still make CDs like I do. Otherwise, the other one for fun Halloween, a little known supernatural thriller called The Power. I think the Blu-ray is on Scorpion. I think, Scorpion and Code Red releasing stuff. The score is by Chris Young or Christopher Young, who did the score for Hellraiser. But The Power is fun. When I saw that this was on a soundtrack, I was like, I gotta have it. So I like Chris Young. Also for Michael's, how do you pronounce his name? Sovi? Soavi, you know, who did The Church and Stage Fright and worked on Della Morte dell'Amore. His movie The Sect, but here it is La Setta. So this was a European import of the soundtrack for La Setta. And this is the one that, isn't it? Is it Jamie Lee Curtis's younger sister or something who's in this movie? But La Setta or The Sect. And then the last one. This is not Halloween, but I got it just for novelty value. Because I saw this movie when it first came out. And honestly, I was like, But Mad Magazine's only foray into producing a film. Mad Magazine's Up the Academy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, they did have.
I had their TV special on fucking bootleg forever.
Wow. Well, the Mad TV, the show started out kind of like Mad Magazine, but then it just veered away from it.
No, I'm talking like the back in like the 60s or no, 70s or 80s. They had a TV special out.
Yeah, that's what I knew you were talking about. I was just saying. I was thinking of later about but this one has Blondie, Jonathan Richman, Ian Hunter, Pat Benatar.
Damn.
And there's even Sammy Hagar, but you know. I just thought it would be novel to have.
That's a great movie.
I was now I rewatched it later and thought, okay.
Well, look, Todd, I was probably about 8 years old when I first watched it. So
as a high schooler when it came out, I was a little more, I don't want to say adult, but it's like same reason.
Was that Ralph Macchio's first movie?
I think so. And
Probably,
for those who are offended by LGBTQ stereotypes, Tom Poston's gay camp counselor who there's a scene that implies that he's got a young boy in the room with him. You only hear the audio. And I'm like,
it's right up there. It's raunchy as you can get with Porky's and all those.
There's no actual nudity.
Yeah, but a lot of talk. A lot of talk.
I mean, I think you see a boy's
I mean,
ass
that's actually right on point with Mad, though. I mean,
right.
Well, Mad Magazine, you know, the magazine was never for kids. I mean, you know, people always thought it was for kids because there was almost nudity and stuff. And even today, I've seen the new version of Mad Magazine that started several years ago. I've even seen the word shit in it. So it was never really for kids, but at the same time, it was never really R-rated as this movie was. And I think Mad Magazine eventually later it was released as Up the Academy, like Mad kind of distanced themselves from it, even though Alfred E. Newman's statue is in the movie. But you know, I thought it would be just for collectible. Like I have
it's a great thing to have.
Yeah,
not many people even know about that movie.
I'd say for people, if you're curious, look up the movie. I don't know if it's still known as Mad Magazine's Presents Up the Academy or just Up the Academy, but yeah, Ralph Macchio is in it, and it's, you know, watch it for curiosity, for novelty's sake. It's a piece of history, just like a movie that a lot of critics just bombed. But
that looks like a Ward movie. Ward would like that movie.
Well, another one that came out, I think around 1979 or 1980, 79, I think, was Americathon with John Ritter. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was about how the United States was broke. There was no gas. People lived in cars, like they would, instead of mobile home parks, people lived in their cars like a mobile home park, and people had to ride bikes and everything to work. So travel, back in the 70s, they didn't think much about electric vehicles and the possibility of electric vehicles. So in Americathon's future, it was you walked or bicycled or roller skated, whatever. So, and it was set in Los Angeles. So that's how the freeways were just all people on bikes and stuff like that. And it's a silly movie, but it's great because it's got Zane Busby as Mu Ling Young, a Vietnamese puke rocker. It's got the Del Rubio triplets in a scene. It's got all kinds of comedians.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
George
crazy
Carlin
movie.
narrated it. And the music, original songs. The theme song was from the Beach Boys. It had Elvis Costello. Zane Busby sang as Mu Ling Young. I highly recommend getting the soundtrack. It's only been on vinyl, but it's a great soundtrack. So Americathon is another. That one I like because when I saw it, it was a full audience at a matinee and people were laughing. I mean, some would look at it now and maybe groan, but we loved stuff like that back then. And we were more easy on movies like that. But also what's coming out soon, apparently there's some Mandalorian movie that's going to be theaters.
Mandalorian Grogu, yeah.
Grogu, whatever that is. But like I mentioned.
Yeah, my mic's starting to go out. Hold it.
Oh, his mic went. Oh, well. But I was going to say, for those who are interested in that, just know that Mandalorian ripped off Lone Wolf and Cub, or Shogun Assassin, as one of the movies released for it was. Yeah, because there's the samurai with a baby in a cart. Does that image look familiar? So if you like Mandalorian, fine, but just know that Disney has never really mentioned, we're going to do a spin on Lone Wolf and Cub, call it Mandalorian. But it is that. Let's see. Otherwise, I'll save it for next week, but everybody's going to be intrigued by my Grizzly Adams collection.
Nice.
Like a working Grizzly Adams clock.
That's dope.
It's, because the background's more pink. Like when you go by beauty shops that have had posters and stuff in the window too long and they turn like pink or light blue. But yeah, I'll have all of that. And the other thing is that I wanted to show off today, because I've been a fan of Sparks ever since they were half Nelson back in this late 60s. And I've been following Sparks even as a kid all the way up until today. And now to go to a Sparks concert, or say, you listen to Sparks, kind of hipster jump on a bandwagon thing. But no, they're legitimately amazing. They're the Sparks Brothers documentary. You got to see it. I'm just saying, I've been on the Sparks bandwagon ever since the late 60s. So I'm not one of these new people who just now discovered them and think it's cool, or like they think Kate Bush is cool now. Dan Haggerty was the original cocaine victim. Ward, yes. And Ward, thanks for sticking around too, because I know after a certain point, some people are like, I got to eat lunch or I got to something. But this is a Sparks official program. It's a book full of photos, and this was for their album Propaganda, which was like 1974 or something. So it's it's all photos of the band. And then the other Sparks program that I have is for their album Indiscreet. And again, color photos, the band, everything. So these are, I was like maybe 12 when these were released. But I love Sparks. They're amazing. These guys are in their upper 70s now, and they're still doing concerts, sellout concerts. I turned on a few people recently to them, and I'm jealous because my friend Annabelle Lecter, what a name, huh? She got to see them perform, I think maybe last year, and I turned her on to Sparks, and she just I'm jealous because Sparks have not played around my area, and you think they would have. I mean, the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs. But I have not gotten to see them, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if I'd be able to afford their concert, because Jesus Christ. And it wasn't just Los Angeles. A friend of mine on the East Coast, Devo, the B-52s, and who I would die to see, Lena Lovitch. She's famous for that song New Toy in particular. The tickets were well over $100 and the parking $90.
Holy shit. The park. Golly.
That on top of the price of the ticket. Yeah. Now it's weird because earlier this year I saw ABC and Howard Jones, and it was amazing. And I had decent enough seats further back, $78 for both, and the parking was free. So you got stuff like that. I'm sad I missed. We had Simple Minds, Modern English, and Mark Allman from Soft Cell. I could have gone to see that for free. Friends of mine asked me like a few hours before they were going to the concert, said, we have an extra ticket. And I was like, because I had to work. I would have gone to see that. But I'm really pissed that I missed Electric Light Orchestra last year, and Tears for Fears, and even Sarah McLachlan. We just had Pat Benatar here, I think, recently, but a lot of those I can't afford. And I would only like to go see ZZ Top because everyone keeps calling me ZZ Top. But they're going to be here just
You might be able to sneak in.
ZZ Top is going to be here in my area about 6 miles down the road next month. And I can't afford it. Yeah, there they are. I used to get Jethro Tull, but of course now I get ZZ Top. And yeah, I would love to see them, for nostalgia for one thing. I was never really huge on their music, but just because, and I know people would think that I'm looking like this, oh, well, I definitely would not want to look purebred like the Hardy Boys. So yeah. Oh, this is the way I like me. This is how I am. I just wish my beard were thick. I don't like that you can see through it, but it is what it is. And
you end up what I do.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's what you do. And if you folks are going to let your beard grow out, always look for split ends. If you see one, snip it, because if you let those split ends go, your whole beard is ruined, just like your hair would be. And you would have to cut it all back. If you want to, because this is not quick. This takes years to do. And you don't want to fuck it up. So get those split ends. Todd's health and beauty tips. So there you go. Other than that, I forgot to mention, because I thought Bill was going to make it, but today I wore my sirloin and Dr. Zumas cheesecake. I love at the bottom it says Cheesecake Series in the corner here. It is our scene from Psycho Ape 2, which right now a few places around the country they've been having a Psycho Ape double feature. Bill Whedon, I don't know if the one already happened, but there's one coming up somewhere in Bill's
November 4th on Bill's end.
Yeah, he's going to be there in person for it. And it's a fun, the movies are short. The first movie is 64 minutes. Part 2 is 66 minutes. So they're breezy, they're silly. And I tout Psycho Ape 2 because especially Chris from Horror Homeschool said that it was his favorite scene in the entire movie and ordered the t-shirt. He's in England, and I'm just proud of that. It's only like I'm in there maybe 20 seconds tops, and that's it.
Yeah. See, is Mike on your end? Does he live in your area?
Mike Caravella?
Yeah.
For Astral Plane Drifter. Yes, he lives 40 miles away from me in Yucca Valley.
Okay, that's good for us because we need somebody in your area to handle the short business. If we can talk him into that.
Well, he managed to get the festival theaters to screen Astral Plane Drifter. It's weird because I will say this. Palm Springs, as fabulous as it is, and it's building up way too much. People, I don't know where all these rich people are coming from because they're building these gated, like Disney is building a gated community 1 mile down the road from me. Disney.
I heard about
and
that.
yeah, and it can't be cheap. There are all these gated community golf course, country club. It's where are all these people coming from, and where do they have? How do they get all this money? But Palm Springs is in downtown Palm Springs. They built these condos right in the smack in the middle of downtown Palm Springs, and they obliterate the mountain view. If you're on Indian Canyon, if you're on Palm Canyon, they put these buildings up they weren't supposed to that obliterate part of the mountain view there. But Palm Springs is just building up. It's still the Stars Playground and blah, blah, blah. And it's a wonderful place, but it's building up. And what I was getting at is it's kind of, in a way, for certain things, a bit apathetic. There was a very small audience when Round the Decay, and they're those guys that made that movie are from the East Coast, but they showed it just about 4 miles up the road from me in Cathedral City, which had a really good No Kings turnout yesterday. And there was a small, and I was shocked. It was at the Mary Pickford Theater, and I was like, wow, Round the Decay. I know the director, so I went to say hi and be there. But it was a very small audience. It's like people. So some events and some screenings, there's no guarantee there's going to be a decent crowd. It's just really strange. So I don't even know how it's going to turn out for Astral Plane Drifter, because for one thing, the 31st, there's for Psycho Ape and Psycho Ape 2. There you go. Tinker Street Cinema. But, the screenings that are on the weekend of Halloween, are there going to be people who don't do Halloween and just want to come out and see this movie? I hope so. We'll see. Because there's 2 screenings each night. Like I said, everybody go to astralplanedrifter.com, scroll about halfway down, and you'll see listings. And
well, I mean, it depends on what the economy is. I mean,
well, look, we
haven't really had a big old Halloween movie come out, so I mean, people might not get into it all that much.
And even like concerts and stuff, like I said, the concerts seem to do fine. And I don't know where all these people get their money, for this stuff. But and some of these events are cheap. Like I think I don't know if it's now or coming up, but we have the big thing in Palm Springs too is Modernism Week. It's about modernism, architecture, and stuff, and just people flock. And we also have, I don't know if it already happened, but we had what they call the Dinah weekend. The Dinah Shore is what it was known as, because it was the Dinah Shore tournament, but now it's the Nabisco tournament. And it's a big lesbian weekend here. Oh, by the way, now that I brought up lesbians, we're covering the entire LGBTQ plus spectrum, as well as those who are friendly. November 6th through the 9th is going to be our big Palm Springs Pride. I thought it was the first weekend of November, but the big parade and whatever group they're going to have perform is going to be the 9th on Sunday in downtown Palm Springs. I will be there, hopefully. So we probably will not have a show unless someone else wants to host. So you want to host, Jack and Chris?
We were gonna do something if you were gonna be out of town.
I want to go to the Pride Parade. It's always fun, and to spend the afternoon there.
You deserve to do that shit, man.
8 blocks of downtown Palm Springs on Palm Canyon and Indian Canyon are blocked off, and it's wall-to-wall people, booths, performances, music performances, food, everything. It's amazing. People come from all over, and it's just a lot of fun. We have Pride in November here because, like, today it is 92 degrees right now. So you can imagine in June, It's like 111 daily. Pride, people would be dropping like flies. So we have Pride in November, and so the temperatures are wonderful, especially by November. They'll even be less than now, and so the temperatures are great. It's just great to be out. All these people, it's just a great day. And so if you're in the Coachella Valley or surrounding, come to Palm Springs. Good luck with the parking. If you're at a hotel, you have to park, because that whole area of downtown Palm Springs is going to be impossible to find any kind of parking. But it's a load of fun. So I will. Is that Chris or is that you?
No, that was probably me. My bad.
Okay, because I thought maybe you put up a siren for traffic.
Oh, shit. No, I didn't hear that.
Okay, it was loud on my end, and it wasn't from outside here, outside of me. But yeah, so I won't be on November the 9th, I think, is that Sunday. I'm going to quickly, November 9th. I plan on being at Pride. I don't think work schedules me for that. So but otherwise, we got lots coming. I don't know. We don't have anyone planned for next week yet, but hey.
Oh, I got somebody for next week.
Okay.
I'll send you the I can't think of the
and if there's anything I can watch or something that's involved with it, let me know. But I'm off to the side here. I'll just move my camera. There we go. So that was 11, 12. Oh, wow. We did go about 3 hours today, didn't we? I keep looking. For me, it's 1:52. So we started at 11 my time. So 12 on 2. Yeah, we hit about 3 hours. Like the ad said, 3-hour tour. That was great. But no, I'm so glad Jon was able to come on. People, go to that dagonfilms.bigcartel.com and be adventurous. Get yourself a copy of Phallacies and Analogies. It's a pre-order, so they won't be shipped out. Sorry, they won't be shipped out probably until early next year, like January, because like you said, if copies are still there, they will stop selling them December 31st. And they're very limited, 150 copies of each one, and only 20 copies of the Ultra edition of Analogies. It'll be the same content, it just, limited cover and everything. And that, of course, is the one that goes quicker, but everyone's going up for the bundle, apparently, of the 2 movies together. So check that out. Come see Astral Plane Drifter if you're in my area. And other than that, I'm trying to think if there's any other big news. Unless you guys got something coming up too.
Not really.
Usual. And is the bird doing okay? I didn't hear the bird today.
Oh yeah, she was just chilling in her cage. She must have went out in the living room when the door was
open.
Okay.
Because usually that bird's part of the show, and was it your rabbit that got through the cords? Is your rabbit okay?
Oh yeah, she was just over here actually.
Well, because I thought if a rabbit chewed through cords, that could be bad for the rabbit. But,
surprisingly, the rabbit came out fine. It was just the internet. Completely killed the internet.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. But so, Astral Plane Drifter, Phallacies and Analogies. Those are the big things, everybody. And hopefully next time when Bill can join in, he'll update us, because I know he's got a lot of stuff, that Hex movie thing that he's doing.
Oh, yeah, he's got a wrestler movie coming out. He's got...
that's the Hex one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all that. So I know he's got stuff to say. I chatted with...
out too. I just can't remember what it is.
I chatted with him early this morning on the phone, Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, I got 3 hours sleep. And then after this, I'm going to take a nap and have lunch because I got to be at work in about 3 hours. Ah, yeah, it's okay. I can just collapse when I get home tonight. I'll be fine. But, yeah, I just
wear you a pair of those glasses with the eyes on. You'll be all right.
I just hope I can switch positions with one person tonight, because I got called in. Because if I can switch with this person, I won't have to stand. I won't have to walk around. I'll be able to do sitting mostly, and which is what I prefer, because I'll be tired. But folks, we got to have our money, right? We got to survive these days. I remember when I was a kid, your dad could be working at a job. Your mom, if she didn't have a job, could be a stay-home mom. You could have a few kids. You still had a house. You had at least one car or two. You got to go on vacations. You could do all that. Like even with Married with Children. Remember, the guy worked in a shoe store, for Christ's sakes. Yet they still had a house. They had a family. You used to be able to do that.
They went on several vacations.
Now, I know people who have 3 jobs and they're worn out because they go from, like, where I work. I'll have someone come in. They'll say, yeah, I just got off my other job. Oh my God. It's wrong. It's cruel. And for those who say something like socialism is bad, those are the rich people telling you it's bad, because with where they're at, they get more money and they keep getting more money while the rest of us have to struggle. And what's wrong with helping each other out? What's wrong with everybody kind of being able to have a life? And you just can't do that anymore. And so it is sad for people like us who love movies. Like when me and Jon Devlin, we were talking about loving to get a Blu-ray once in a while or something. It's getting hard. And it's, not much of a life. So, hey, folks, I guess I'm just saying, let's make some changes.
Oh, yeah.
And without getting directly, obviously political, you know what I'm saying? We got to make some changes. It'll never really back to pure easiness, but it makes me sad that now you can't even pay rent on an apartment with just one job. So, yeah, let's do something, people. That's what yesterday was all about in a big way across the country. But, with certain things in power doing grabs and stuff to make it difficult, it's going to be a struggle. But God, I hope we can get somewhere because I need to relax. Cheesecake doesn't solve everything.
Yeah.
Although it's pretty good, cheesecake, man, cheesecake. So I guess I've said everything I have to say. I've always got lots more, folks, but I'm not going to drag it out all day.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to save all the Grizzly Adams stuff for next week. And it's been fun. And Ward, I see you were sticking through with us and everybody else that stuck around. Since apparently, thank you, Ward.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I always need affirmation. To know we did good. But yeah, everybody, I can't believe I'm saying this, but since we're on YouTube, like and subscribe. I see all those people doing video reactions and they're like, and if you like and subscribe, I'm like, but yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, we're on YouTube. So like it, subscribe, make comments. And for those of you, if you've made comments during the show in the chat on YouTube and you have to log in to do that, I can't see them because I'm on the StreamYard page. YouTube is like a delay of how much? How many seconds? It's like a really
30 seconds, 15 to 30. I forget. Somebody was getting weirded out because
it's hard to Why? Because we're not doing the same thing at the same time on YouTube and here on StreamYard. YouTube has a delay. So if I'm looking at YouTube, I'm confused because it's behind.
And if you try to watch both of them, you get an echo.
Yeah. So, yeah, but like and subscribe, blah, 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 bullshit. And yeah, just keep watching. I'm grateful that we have this fun time so I can share things and say things and get to talk with other filmmakers. It's just the greatest thing. It's a blast. You know, some would say, well, wouldn't it be great if you could get paid for stuff like this? Yeah, but fuck that. I'm happy being here. I'm happy that, you know, after all these years, I get to do this and share. It's fun. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. And next week, Chris, we're going to show that little like father, like son video. We got to show that at least next week. I forgot I was going to have that played when Jon was on because it kind of could fit with what we were talking about for Phallacies. But I totally forgot too. So we'll just run that all next week and we'll have trailers and good stuff and surprises. So thank you. Thank you. This has been the Todd Jaeger Experience along with
Captain Cartoon.
Yeah, see, I pointed right this time. And of course, Chris, who pops in once in a while. And thankfully, Chris, your voice, everything sounded normal today. You didn't sound like a robot. Still don't know what was going on with that, but that's technology.
We had everything on point today for the most part.
Yeah, except I hate doing this. I try to keep my head tilted because when I do this, you see my computer screen and my glasses. Or I could do this and it's the ring light. But, you know, it's just
that's okay. They get to watch me squirm around all day.
Yeah. Well, no. And join in when oh, there he is. Full view, folks. Full frontal. And like I said, Jack doesn't speak much on the show, but he's, you know, he's just more of an observer, but he's welcome to join in anytime. And also he's here to make sure things are okay, besides Chris taking care of things. So thank you to Chris as well. And it's always fun. And I can't believe that time flies like this. Usually I think, oh, we're gonna run out of things to say and the show will peter out. But damn, always something going on. So don't forget, folks, you must oh fuck. Well, I'll just show this. Get your dose of Hardy Boys. And Nancy Drew. Her show didn't last as long. The Hardy Boys were more popular, but still. You know, sure. And if you've never heard Hey Deanie by Sean Cassidy, look it up. But again, my last word, everybody, look up the album Wasp by Sean Cassidy. And there are songs from it, like his version of Rebel Rebel and stuff. I'm sure they're on YouTube. It's an amazing album. Sean Cassidy, you're cool. All right, folks. Todd Jaeger Experience, Todd Quality Jaeger, Captain Cartoon, Chris, of course. Join us next week. We'll see what happens. More Cheesecake 2.